Let's get to it. Let's get to it. I ain't got time to wait for that. Let's go. We about to get this show on the road. We about to punch some throats today. Today we're gonna talk about what have you given up to make it. If your life has been the same from the time you decided to try to do this thing to now, you probably haven't given up enough. I just want to, just keep it real with you. Today we're gonna talk about some things I had to give up to make it and some things that you should be looking into. Some things if you can't sit back and say I've given something up or my life has changed where I do less of X, Y, and Z, you probably ain't trying to make it as best as you think you are. So today we're going to talk about some of that because you should be going through a little bit of change at home, in the personal life, in the friendship area. You should be going through some change to make this happen. But first, we're going to roll some graphics. Let's do that. What's going on, everybody? You are in the place to be. Let me start off with a few things. First, if this is your first time on this channel, my name is Ty. I'm a former Army combat photographer. 2,862 confirmed kills with a Canon battery. The only photographer on the planet that got kills with a Canon. I'm joking. I don't have confirmed kills with a Canon battery. That would be dope, though, but it's not my thing. I was talking about pictures, shutter counts, not kills. I'm sorry. My Army friends are like, what? I wish. Anyway. This channel is about turning your passion into your profit. It's where creatives come to learn business. If you want to learn how to do Photoshop, if you want to learn how to make your grandmama eyes look in the same direction at the same time, this ain't the place for it. This is the place you go to learn how to get that bag. And I got people waiting in the green room. We're gonna get to you in a minute, especially to you, Jim, because we got a good win that was just posted in the community. But let me say two things before we get into it, before we wrap. I gotta say it. I said it Tuesday. I'm going to say it again. Big disclaimer. But I got to put a disclaimer out here. I got to tell people what it is. And this is going to put my brass knuckles on. Okay, it's been brought to my attention. I got to do it for my notes because I got to make sure my notes was right to make sure I'm doubling down a little bit. It's been brought to my attention by a lot of you that bots, other members, fake YouTube accounts designed to look like mine been trying to sell you something. They've often provided you free offers or links designed to capture your information and add you to an email list. They will invite you to some sort of mastermind group, some type of consultation call, some free course, some so-called course or whatever designed to help you grow your business and reach new clients and make more money. Let me be clear to you, it's not me. I have nothing to do with it. I am totally fine with you furthering your education. Outside of FlashFilm Academy, I like sites like LinkedIn Learning, Skillshare. I like Full-Time Filmmaker. I think those guys are dope and I love them for what they do. But I don't condone, support, or do business with any of these guys, companies, or bots that's reaching out to you. I don't care if they're members, gold members, platinum members, been on the live, look like me, talk like me, got their ankles broke. I ain't never got my ankles broke. My no member on here. I just want to put that out there. But if they're coming to you with broke ankles, it ain't me. All right. Let me just be real. If I suggest anybody to work with, it's probably because I've worked with them. And those are the ones I usually suggest. I don't suggest people I ain't worked with because I ain't about to have you out here looking like that. And I ain't never, did it. So if I do suggest some place, and this is coming from me, it'll be in usually 1 or 3 places. FlashFilm Academy under Ty's gear, service, and section, in the community with a post by me, or on the Facebook page. If you ain't see it there, I didn't post it. I don't suggest it to make my peoples. In module 1 of the master course, I tell you how you will be a target. Whenever you file a new LLC, whenever you're a new business, people going to come after you. They're going to come looking for you because they know that you're a little naive as to how business work, and they want to try to sell you a shortcut. They want to try to sell you a shortcut to help you get to, reach your goals, and they take advantage of you. I don't personally know these people, so I can't recommend them. So my job here is to protect FlashFilm Academy and protect you from this. So I got to say that as a disclaimer. Also, today's sponsor of the day, for sure. Today's sponsor of the day is FlashFilm Academy, the gold membership. You know what I'm saying? So If you're not a member, make sure you join and become a member. You get free lectures. You get access to the community, behind the scenes footage. The community is popping right now. Everybody posting great stuff, great wins, great conversations. You get 300 hours of lectures and all kind of stuff you can watch just like this. And you get access to videos that's exclusive, behind the scenes content, everything in the world, fam. You get it all on the gold portion of the site. You can join by going to gold.flashfilmacademy.com. Or if you want to just join the community, go to community.flashfilmacademy.com and just chop it up with us. There we go. Now that we got that out of the way and everybody good, everybody Gucci and everything's great, let's talk a little bit. Let's talk about some of the things you may be giving up if you're going to go and pursue this journey. And I'm going to say this again because some people who have heard this know I cover this in like chapter 1 of the master course, because I talk about your personal life and things that you may encounter when you decide to go in business like this. It is extremely important that you understand that your life will change when you take on this full-time entrepreneurial journey alone. Your circle's going to change, your pocket's going to change, your life going to change. Things you value are going to change, right? I haven't watched TV and I don't know how long, not consistently. If I got a show, I'll try to catch it. I'll try to DVR it. I don't DVR it. I download it and all that. I will try to watch it in bits and pieces. My days, like I'm gonna tell you, I haven't touched my Xbox in about 3-4 years. I'm gonna be honest with you. And I love video games. I love it. I love it. I love it. I just haven't been able to get on Call of Duty and get it in like I normally do because business has been more valuable. It ain't that I ain't had the time. It's just that when I sit down and I hold that controller, I'm thinking to myself, like, what am I doing? Is this helping me or is this hurting me? Is this just entertaining me or is it fulfilling? Is it something I love to do that's helping my business get to where I want to go? Let me look outside. I don't got enough cars. Let me look at my house. I'm out of square footage. Gosh, let me go check my bank account. Now the decimal's not in the right place. So it's not enough commas. So I got to do what I got to do. That's just me. Whatever motivates you, if a kill streak motivates you, then it may motivate you to go do what you got to do. But for me, this is just, I want to be in a comfortable place. Do I got to make a decision? At what dollar amount do I really got to ponder this, the purchase? It should be something stupid. And if until I get to something stupid where I can be like, yeah, we'll take 2 of them houses. Yeah, so what you were saying about the game over here, until I get there, I'm still grinding. There are people like that that are around you, but you have no idea. They may not be flashy or whatever, but it exists. So for me, I've given up a lot of things to chase my dreams. I've given up people because there are people who I don't bring around me. I still got love for them. They're still friends. They still family. They still cool. But when they started talking that 9 to 5, I'm stuck here, the world is against me, I'm the victim, it's so saturated, all this ignorance and this mentality, I don't keep myself around those people a lot because it starts to wear on you. And I don't keep victim mentalities around me a lot because yeah, so what? I'm in America. So what? I started with this. So what? I got a Detroit public school education. So what? I'm black. So what? I'm whatever. I'm still gonna get what I gotta get. I'm still gonna go after it and do it. And if you sit around a bunch of people who look at what they don't have, they're gonna always be in that situation. Nobody has been handed the perfect hand of cards. Nobody. I don't care how much money you think they got, what part of the country, world you think they grew up in. They may have better cards than you, but nobody has been handed everything perfectly. The difference is you're sitting in the back looking at what you don't have when you should be happy and grateful for what you do have and use that to get where you got to go. Stop. You got to save yourself. Nobody's coming. Save yourself. Cut down that tree, get the wood, build a boat, and get out of there. Nobody's coming. So, and I want to make sure that I push that to everybody, men, women, female, if you got a disability, I don't care what it is. I feel you. That is an issue. But make enough money if you about women rights, if you about black rights, if you about white rights, whatever you about, you can't change it by crying about it. You can change it by building a business, generating money, and then maybe putting some money into it. But crying about it and agreeing with everybody and posting about it does nothing. Go handle your business, grow your business, make the money you can make to invest in the changes you want to see in the world. Don't just be about it in your head. Who cares? So that's just me. And some people feel differently, but I felt like you got to go get it. If you're an entrepreneur, you're a go-getter, right? Excuses won't get you nowhere. Crying about what they won't give you won't get you nowhere. It's just something to talk about. And if you hang around people and that's all they want to talk about, you're going to be right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, they should have gave us this. Yeah, they should have did this for us. We sure could have used. No, go get it. It's the opportunity is there. It's just a lot of people want the opportunity given to them. Everything you need to go from rags to riches is in a book, on a video, in a $10 course, or it's available to you. I don't care how tall you are. I don't care how skinny or fat you are, male, female, black, white. I don't care what your ethnicity is, where you are in this world. If you can watch this, you have internet access, and the information you need to get out of this situation is available to you. There's no more excuses. You're now free from thinking you have excuses. And a lot of times you are your own worst enemy. Most times, 90% of the times, you are your own worst enemy. Period. So to fix that, you're going to have to go talk to the guy in the mirror. The world don't owe you nothing. My mother used to say, the world don't owe you nothing. Get up. The world don't owe you nothing. You watching Jordan? Jordan got his money. Get up. So it's something that unbelievably a lot of people don't hear. Yeah, the parents tell them we in fantasy world and stuff's gonna be great. And you just go to school and get great A's and you're gonna get a lot of money and things are gonna be wonderful. You're gonna meet the love of your life and things are gonna be great. I was in Detroit public schools where people wasn't showing up to school because they wasn't getting money or they was getting shot in front of the school. It's plenty of times I've been walking through shootouts like, oh, they're shooting at them. Oh, okay. Oh, well, okay. Well, it didn't hit me. Let me go on by my way. I'm from an area where stuff pop off, and you don't look. You mind your business. You be blood be all on you. You be like, I ain't see nothing. I don't know what they talking about. Like I ain't see nothing. What you mean, blood, brain matter on my shirt? That's spaghetti. Nah, that ain't. I ain't see nothing. I don't know what you talking. That's where I'm from. So look at what you got going for you. You be great, be happy that you got 10 fingers and 10 toes. If you got it, there's some viewers that got 9. You still got enough to get it done. Use what you got to go where you want to go. Stop making excuses. Just stop. Stop. The moment you stop, your life will change. Again, let's go back to what's going to change around you, or what have you given up? Again, I said I gave up people. I gave up relationships. I gave up long-term friendships. To progress, because a lot of those are holding you back. Not saying I don't love them, not saying I don't deal with them. There's just a time and place for it. I started to put friends in certain categories. There go your workout friend, there go your basketball friend, there go your football friend, there go your whatever. But just know what set of friends you hanging out with. It need to be your entrepreneurial, forward-minded friends that are go-getters, that are talking to you and holding you accountable for the changes you're looking to make in your life. This is a full-time journey. This ain't no part-time crap. This is a lifestyle. It's not a hobby. So you have to look at it that way, right? It's just like a good diet. You can't do it sometime and see results. You got to live it all the time. So you're going to have to give up some stuff, right? There's some bad habits you're going to have to start to look at and say, hey, this ain't cool. I'm throwing money in the club. Maybe I shouldn't be doing that. She don't really like me, dog. It's just good customer service. She know me because I'm here throwing a handful of money and she cool. There are certain things in your life that you're gonna have to look at and say, I can't do this anymore. There's certain spending habits that you're gonna have to stop. Hey, to get this company off the ground, I may not be able to get $300 shoes. I may have to rock the Skippies. I may have to, you know what I'm saying? I may have to go get the and ones or something. You have to, you know what I'm saying? I may have to go get the cheap champ shoes. There may be some things you have to sacrifice so that you can put money into the things that will help you grow. See, we have been conditioned to be consumers. We have been conditioned to just survive. We have been conditioned to go to a job, work just to survive and not invest. And when I say invest, I don't mean stocks, right? There's nothing wrong with investing in stocks and crypto, but you're literally saying, I trust somebody else to flip my dollar more than I trust myself. So before you do that, find a way to flip your dollar yourself, and then you'll profit from there. Then you go invest. But you need to develop a brand or a business within yourself worth investing in, and stop letting other people control your future. Either you're going to happen to life or life going to happen to you. And you have to make that decision. Everybody on here not gonna make that decision. It's up to you to make the decision. So you're gonna have to make some changes. And I like to talk about personal life because people think it's just about business. It's not just about business. You have to have a solid foundation. There are people in your life right now that's giving you wrong information. And a lot of times it's not because they're intentionally wanting they want bad for you. It's because they're not, the kind word is intelligent in that area to help you. They want to help you, but they may not be able to. And you have to be intelligent and mature enough to say, I love you. Thank you. I'm gonna hear you out because I love you, but let me put this on this piece of paper and sit this over here and let me get back to my book. You have to have that part of, the relationship, especially when it comes to friends or long-term relationships. You're gonna get a lot of that. Everybody gonna have an opinion. Everybody that's going to work tomorrow gonna have an opinion about how to run your business you've been doing for years. You've been surviving on for years. And that's okay. You can still love them, but invest time in areas that help you grow. Watching TV won't get you nowhere. Everything is on demand. I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like if I just like keep a note of all the dope shows, when I retire, I'm gonna spend a lot of time watching TV. I'm I'll have time to watch TV. You know what I'm saying? It's all on demand. I'll just okay, it'll be there. I'm gonna get this bag, and then when I retire, then I'm gonna sit down and catch up on what's next on Power. It'll still be there. It ain't going nowhere. But people are comfortable living in a world where they they rather watch other people do it than to get it themselves. They're okay seeing other people do great things than to go out and do it. I don't want to watch beaches on TV. I want to go there myself. I don't want to live a life of viewing everything and I see everybody else enjoying I mean, let's think about it like this, right? How do you feel that you don't get to enjoy the best that man has to offer? That don't bother you? You've never seen a car like, wow, that's a nice car. Why am I not in a situation I want to enjoy the best man has to offer. I want to taste the best steak. I want to live in the best house. It has nothing to do with money and everything to do with freedom. I want to be free enough where I can live my best life. There's no compromise in my life. I want to live a compromise-free life. Is there a word for that? That's what I want to do. And I have to make the changes to do it. I have to understand that my environment or where I'm from or my generational curses or things that I'm taught or growing up listening to 20 hours of Tupac, I got to realize what it has done to me and what I need to do to pivot and change from that direction. You're going to have to take a step back and look around in your life and notice that you're okay with a level you shouldn't be okay with. You're living at a level you shouldn't be okay with, but you don't know no better. And that's okay. Working in this industry, when you're working with businesses and CEOs and executives, oh, you're going to know better. You're going to know better. I remember I did a shoot, right? And I was in a room. It was Roger Starbuck, former Cowboy quarterback in real estate. He worth about 500 million. CEO of Coca-Cola, CEO of DirecTV, and like a chairman of AT&T before they merged. Here I am, a photographer, taking pictures. I was in a closed board meeting with these guys, right? If you ever seen, I posted some pictures of like me and Roger Starbuck and a few other ones, and the CEO of TGI Fridays at the time. I was in a closed in room, and I've gotten so good as a photographer that people forget that I'm there, and that's my job. Allow them to get comfortable enough where they forget that I'm there and capture my images. I'm usually going silent shutter. I'm usually, focused on preserving the moment. It's all about preserving the moment and capturing it. So as I preserve the moment and I hear their conversation, it's unlike anything I've ever been around because I didn't grow up like that. I haven't been. It's different, and I'm there capturing images, but I'm also there for me to soak up as much as I can so that I can learn how to maneuver in that environment. I want to learn how to maneuver in that. I deserve to be there. I'm here now. You can't tell me I don't deserve to be there. I'm here. I may not be here by the means in which they are, but I'm here. And I'm gonna be a sponge. I'm gonna listen to how they talk, what they talk, why they talk. And I remember they were having conversations about elections. They were having conversations about their ideas for upcoming elections. And they wasn't thinking like me and you, like we're gonna vote and we're gonna vote. They were like, we're gonna throw some money at this, we're gonna throw some money at that, we're gonna throw some money at this. Their ideas were completely different than you or I that's down here. And I listened to them talk for about 2 hours and it just blew my mind. And it wasn't a serious, some of it was a serious conversation about business and company, but then sometimes it strayed off into other places. And to hear what they did for fun, what they had planned for the weekend, like it was just it was just a different world. They don't do stuff like we do stuff. And it's not because they have a ton of money. It's just they have different habits than we have. And I started to realize my habits weren't what their habits were. They weren't doing nothing I couldn't afford to do now. It wasn't like they were like, we're going to fly to Egypt and, we're going to stand on top of the pyramid and take selfies. They wasn't doing anything crazy like that. Like they were just doing things. They had different habits. Their idea of downtime included education. My idea of downtime included Call of Duty. But in my mind, I'm like, how is that fun to you? But they've made it fun. They were brought up and taught as a kid, this is fun. Educating yourself is fun. We were brought up as a kid thinking education is a burden, it's tiring, it's tiresome, it's expensive, so our views were different. It was just a wake-up call for me. I left that meeting a different person. I left that meeting understanding that my way of thinking was incorrect. Not blaming nobody, not mad at nobody. The world did the best it could from my position. I'm not mad at the world. But now that I know that I need to improve, it's up to me to do it. Right? It's up to me to do it. You know how much information are in books? Books are ridiculous. I don't understand how more people don't read books. Books have changed my life. Absolutely. Absolutely changed my life. So you're going to have to give up a lot to go where you're trying to go. It's just going to I don't want to BS you. If your life is the same a year from now, I guarantee you, if your social life, if your habits are the same a year from now, your pocket's gonna be the same a year from now. Straight up. If you hanging around the same people in 2021 and 2022, you're gonna be in the same spot. I promise you that. But if you change, if you get out of that comfort zone, if you go and you work at just being uncomfortable, get comfortable being uncomfortable. It sounds weird, but it's one of the greatest things you can do. It will change your life. You right now, you don't realize how much control of your life you have. A lot of people feel like they're in the world that takes them places. They don't realize how much control they have in their life. The fact that you work and don't have time to come hang with your kids, you don't get sleep, all that's on you. Either because one, you didn't have the balls to change it, to take a risk to change it. That's on you. That's on you. You didn't have the balls to do it. You didn't have the balls to say I'm gonna stay up and miss 2 hours of sleep to learn X, Y, and Z. You wanted to take a shortcut. You thought that this 4K camera is gonna kickstart my business and I'm out of here. Instead of saying, hey, I really need to take this course. I need to digest it. I need to take notes. I need to understand it. How many of y'all bought a course, cut it on, and did something else? And then you're like, I don't know about this. So I got a little bit of it. If you didn't watch the course 2-3 times, did you really get everything you invested in it out of it? A lot of people do that. I can see who complete what courses. I can tell when you jumped around. There's plenty of times I've had people ask me questions on here, and I know that person skipped that whole chapter. Because I'm like, well, I go into detail on this in chapter 2. Like, let me go look. Oh, he skipped chapter 2. Oh, okay. That's why. You are where you deserve to be right now. As harsh as that sounds, it hurts. What are you going to do about it? That's what I want to know. What are you going to do about it? You don't have to answer me. You got to answer yourself. You are where you deserve to be right. It sucks. It hurts. When I thought about that, I was like, man, that hurts. Don't nobody owe you anything. Your parents, your cousins, your friends, the dude you gave the money to, he don't owe it back to you. He do, but he don't. Because you should have been lending money you couldn't live without anyway. But the world don't owe you anything. The faster you take responsibility for your life and your situation, the faster things will change for you. It's so important. I love to talk to y'all about camera gear. I love to talk to y'all about upselling. I love to talk to y'all about sales technique. But what did I tell you is the number one tool in your bag? It's your personality. It's who you are. I don't care if you got a red Oxygen 48K self-editing, color balancing, triple 48 layers of dynamic range, butt scratching super camera that floats and get angles you can only get, on your back. I don't care. If you don't do this right, nothing else matters. That's why you see a lot of, you ever see stars that are like athletes or something, and they blow it all, or they jack it up. Like, how can you get to that level and you jack it up? Like, how can you get to that level and go to prison? How can you get to that level and blow money? Because they have talents that took them places their character couldn't handle. They didn't develop the character. They were praised for their ability to lay up a ball or make music. They were not praised for their ability to have a personality, to be a people person, right? Usually the greats lack personality because they've developed so much star power, so much power, so much of their brain to their talent that they haven't developed enough, they haven't developed enough social skills. You ever met somebody that was really, 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 really pretty? They were beautiful. But when they opened their mouth, they were like, ew, I really don't want to talk to you for more than 2 sentences. I really don't want to have a conversation with you. Like, just look at me. Like, don't say nothing. Because they're so used to getting by on just being gorgeous. They never had they never had to function correctly. You know what I'm saying? Like they're so gorgeous that they've never had to really like have an intelligent conversation. You've all dated somebody that you really thought was beautiful and you got with them and they were like, don't say nothing. They were like, totally. Like, I really just, did you see what the Kardashians did? Like, you like, really? Like, you've been living, you survive like this, fam? Like you be out in the streets talking like this, people be listening? After about your fourth, like, dang, that's crazy. You like, I got to get out of here. That's crazy. Straight up. Yeah, yeah. Wow. The highlights. She changed her highlights back to blonde. Wow, that's crazy, fam. Yeah. Look, I gotta go. I gotta shampoo my dog. I like to use the Real Good Pantene Pro on my dog because it works better on Tuesday. So I'm gonna go do that. It happens. I'm just, I'm the master of getting out of situations. I gotta go shovel my snow. It's July. I know. It's just freak accident. Just freak over my house. The way the wind set up. I'll be backing out like a mug. Like, you know what? My car is out of brake light fluid. The light came on the way over here. I gotta put some brake light fluid. They pulling brothers over. Your brake light don't come on. We out here in the burbs. They gonna pull me over, drag me out the car. So I gotta put some brake light fluid in it so I can make it safe. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I be getting out of those situations, but often you meet people who have talents that take them places that their character cannot handle. This is a position in which you have to have character. It helps a lot. You can be the best photographer in the world. You got to have some character to run this company. You got to create the culture. So it's important that you do that. you're going to have to give up some things. I want to be clear to that. You got to look at your life, because this is a time in which you need to look at your life and be like, what have I not, like, am I doing the same things that I did last year? And if you're not, if you're like, yeah, I'm doing the same things, my life is pretty similar to last year, I guarantee your business ain't moved that much. When I completely changed my life and start just habits, and it was just like, yo, it was just like stuff started moving. The weirder I started changing up stuff, the smaller my circle got, the more I stopped caring about going out and hanging out and fashion and what's hot in music. Like, I just started bringing that attention back and focus on my brand and my business and reading books and just learning stuff. I was just about learning. I'm all about learning. Stuff started changing. I mean, this stuff started growing. I went from like, man, if I can keep just a few, if I can get this amount in my account, I'm good. And it'll go like, if I can get that amount. So stuff started moving for me. So I promise you, get weird about changing your life. Get weird about it. Be obsessed with it. It's a great book called Be Obsessed or Be Average. That's really, really good. It's really, really good. It's about a guy who had an obsession with what he loved to do, and it made him a millionaire. I can't think of his name right now. He's a big millionaire. You know the guy. Everybody knows the guy. Somebody gonna pop it up, and I'm be like, yeah, that's him. Grant Cardone. He just bought a jet like 3 years ago. And Grant Cardone, that's who it is. Be Obsessed or Be Average is a great book about a guy who he had a drug problem. He had an addiction to drugs, and he took that addiction and he applied it to his business. He applied it to his ability to sell. He went from being like a door-to-door salesman to owning just millions in real estate, and just his life has changed. So it's okay, it's okay to be obsessed as long as you're obsessed with the right things. All right. With that being said, I'm gonna bring on the guests because they've been patiently waiting in the green room. We got people drinking from 40 ounces and all kind of stuff right now. He ain't got a 40. I'm just playing. So I bring Alex on. Don't beat me up. All right, we got the whole crew today. If you are a gold member, feel free to go ahead and hit that go to the gold portion on the in the community, and you'll get a link telling you how to join this thing. What's going on, everybody?
Not much. Good.
How y'all feeling today?
Good.
Let me make sure.
You're
Fantastic.
Let's start the day off.
doing good.
Let's start the day off with the win, Jim. We're gonna come to you first.
Yes.
Because we got to talk about that win you got. If you are a member, gold member on the community, you know what I'm talking about. You posted it, talked about it. But for those who not,
Yes.
I'm gonna let him. I'm gonna let him just lay it out there. I'm gonna let him go for it. So we're gonna give you the floor first because I love to hear about wins. Let's go.
Well, last week I told you guys that I got rushed into doing a bunch of videos for a client, and it turned out, well, it must have turned out great because I had a video conference with them today, and yeah, pretty much going to be doing a lot of work for them.
That's awesome.
And then it just all kind of compiled. We had a regional chamber that kind of oversees about a dozen cities that need some work done, as well as the Tourism Bureau. And oh my gosh, there was one other one, but it was just crazy. It's just all of a sudden, it's just snowballing, which is kind of funny. I'm in northern Minnesota, so eventually that's going to happen. But it's and I really do have to say, I mean, it sounds corny because I say it all the time, but I really attribute a lot of it to our structure-based pricing that we took from just listening to Ty, quite frankly, and it's changed the way we structured everything, the way we put it in front of customers, and it works. It really does. There's no more guessing on, well, what are we going to charge for this one? I mean, we've been around. We started in January 2019, and I'll probably do more business in the next month than I did in a year and a half. So and we probably started utilizing the structured based pricing and all of that about 3 months ago. So something of that nature. I mean, we use Proposify. It says I've got here. I think there's about, what do we got in that pipeline?
I love that pipeline. So Proposify, real quick, while you do pull that up. If you got contracts out and they're in the process of getting signed, Proposify tell you how much money you got out and how much money people have said yes to. So you can look back and be like, okay, I closed this amount this year.
We got over 50,000 in that pipeline right now. So, and I'm planning on closing over half of that in the next 4 days. 4 or 5 days is what our plan is.
Who goes out and makes $50,000 in 4 or 5 days? Who does that?
Well, it's going to be heavily tie taxed.
50. I'm adding it up right now. I'm adding it up right now.
And
carry the one, and then you got to, move the desk. Okay.
And it was really kind of funny because one of the clients today said that, we're, there's this big conference and it's $2,000 a ticket, and we're one of the hosts and stuff, and it's at such and such town in Texas. And could you make it for 3 days if we brought you down there and did that? And I'm thinking, I think Ty's from around that area.
Yep, right up the street.
I was like, because they said, oh yeah, it's right outside of Dallas Cowboys Stadium or something. And I'm like, really? That's definitely got to be in the neighborhood. So yeah, I got pretty pumped about that. So I probably got, and this is silly, I probably got more pumped about that than I did about that. Just because I thought, dude, changed the way we were doing things here, and it's made such a difference. And I'm very grateful. So
we'll be outside the hotel with a cup. Like, hey man, I know you guys got that. I want to answer a question Mr. B asked real quick, Mr. B. He said with structure-based pricing, do you give them a ballpark range of how many hours you expect it to take? What if you go over? So with the structure-based pricing, it covers the pricing to go over and if it go under. So it teaches you how to get your money in the first hour, pretty much. Get your money in the first hour, have a set rate, and the client can determine how they want to do it. And whatever they choose, we'll give a flat rate. We'll give a fee. Kind of like when you go to Apple, like I said, and you pick what you want. If you put 16 gigs over 8, you got a price for it. So they'll get to choose what they want. It'll allow them to maximize their budget. It'll allow them to plan in the future, and it'll allow you to know, you're not punished if you finished, early. In certain cases in life, you're punished when you finish early, but this is not it. This is the case where you're not. You're rewarded if you finished early, so you're good to go. Right.
Well, I tell you, on one of those bids that we did, it was the Tourism Bureau, and she said, this one of these videos that we're going to do with you is actually for another organization. We just want to help them grow and shine bright in this region, but I don't want to spend that much, so I unchecked a few boxes and left the ones checked. Could you just double check that for me so that'll get us a complete project? I'm like, oh, absolutely. Hang on.
The best thing about that is when you send a proposal at one price and you get it back and it's just way higher. It's like Christmas.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You're like, what the? And I'm just like, man, like.
Well, I'm telling you, like the one proposal, I guess, I said you get a discount of 10,000 and you get a bigger discount of 20,000. And she's like, do I have to tell you what we want to do first before we get the discounts? And I'm like, I don't care. We can go big. Like, perfect. I'm going to send you over a list. We're going big. I'm like, yes.
Yep.
So
it's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. I absolutely love it. It was one of those things that just, when it clicked, it clicked. And I started developing it, working with my beta clients, like, because one of our beta clients straight up said, I hate the fact that I got to go through you to figure out everything that I want to do. I'd rather sit down with all of the options and put my own stuff together. And I was like, man, it's a good idea. Like they were like, because they calling me like, how much is this? Well, how much would that be? And I got to figure it out. And I'm like, you know what? Here, you tell me what you want. And then I started doing research and noticing that that's how a lot of companies work. Like, you walk into a store, good stores have prices. Those shady ones, like, I give you that for, I hate stores. Like, I hate, and anytime you're a content creator and they're asking for something and you like, I'm gonna make a deal with you. I'm gonna give you this and we're gonna add, you'd be like, man, I don't even, that's how you appear to your clients. I mean, you know what? For you, I'm gonna give it to you for $20. You know what I'm saying? Because you got the little cute lady with you. You be like, what? Like, come on, dude. Like, you just told the other guy 13. Well, mind your business. You be like, you know what I'm saying? So I just felt like whenever I'm working with clients and they coming to me like, well, Ty, what if we had an extra hour? Look here, for you, the hour gonna be, you know what I'm saying?
Oh
Like,
my God.
that's how you look. And we don't realize that. So if you can just be like, here you go. And my profit is already worked into it. I got good profit margins, especially in the first hour. You'll be good. And I used to hate people who I only need you for an hour. I'm like, dang, man, I don't. But if you got a base price, I'm happy to come out for that hour because I'm about to eat. We need 3 guys on set for an hour. Perfect. Let's go. We about to eat. Hey, man, just come stand around, do something. Come hold it. Just make sure I got my light stands and because it's just so profitable for you to do that, and it makes you happy. You're like, why are you always happy? Because I'm getting paid. Anybody who was an early watcher of the channel, my nickname, I name all my cars. So my nickname for my for the work truck is the Brinks truck because whenever I'm in it, I'm getting money. I'm happy. It was the Brinks truck. That was the nickname for it because every time I cranked it up, it was like cha-ching. Every time I pull a tarp off of it, I'm like, yeah. So it's definitely definitely a place to be. Anybody else got a win real quick before we start getting into more of the topic? Go for it, Alex.
I told you all I was last week. I was talking about changing the name of the website, to describe what I'm doing and moving things over to the New York area outside of Jersey. And I'm setting up plans, the DBA, and I'm doing all that stuff. I got the logo, and I get an email yesterday, or actually Tuesday, from a client that I had spoken to back in the fall. She's like an intermediary, so she works with other people, and she like gives them options. You know what I'm talking about? Like they go find the video company for the company they're working on behalf of. So I submitted a bid before. This was flat rate pricing, so she gave me an opportunity on this new job, and I sent her structure-based pricing instead. And she said to me, and she said she wanted the raw footage. So I said, the raw footage is going to cost you, 4 G's. And this is what's going to cost for the structure-based pricing so the way Proposify adds it up. She sends me back this email, Alex, is it $5,000 per day? I said, no. And I explained it to her, and I got on the phone with her, and I said, structure-based pricing. I said, and she's like, well, what do you mean? I said, what I mean is, how whatever you need me for is what you're going to pay for, and anything you're not going to pay me for hours I don't need to be there, and I'm not going to be there for hours that you're not paying me for. And she says, wow, everybody else just told us, because it was a 4-day shoot, everyone else told us 10 hours, and they built that in and told us that's the price. I said, and how many of those 4 days do you need for 10 hours? She said, I think 1 or 2. I said, yeah. And she goes, well, that makes a lot more sense. I said, yeah, makes a lot more sense. I was the only one out of 4 or 5. And I said, yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem blowing my own horn on this one. I said, I mean, basically everybody else is trying to, basically just do whatever they all do. I said, and I'm giving you this option. And she said, oh, that's awesome. Can you spell it? I said, yeah. So then we're still in talks. I'm not close. It's not closed yet, but I have a better opportunity, a better shot than the other ones. And then I sit down, and an hour later, a phone call comes in. I don't know if you guys have ever gotten this phone call where somebody just walks right into you. It's like, that's it. Dude, I said, can I help you? And he says, yeah. This is a video production? I said, yeah. He said, wow, I'm glad I got through. I said, what are you talking about? He said, I've called 5, 6 video production companies. Nobody's called me back. Now, I don't know what to say
Mhm.
about that. I said, listen, the only thing I could think is maybe they have a lot of projects right now and they're not taking any more on, but at least they should have called you back or told you, listen, we're booked out till August. He said, no, they didn't do that. And then he says to me, I'm in construction. We get a bad rap in this industry, and I want to do like an interview and talk about what I do and like kind of like my friend did on his website. I said, you've reached the right man. I said, you've reached the right. So we started talking, and then I basically told him, I kind of pulled your line. I was like, have you been to my website? Yeah. Have you seen my video? He said, no. I said, put me on hold for 3 minutes it takes to watch it. Just do me a favor. Take a look at that. So he did that. And then he comes back on and he goes, wow, that's pretty impressive. He says, and listen, I'm a little concerned. You worked with FedEx, you work with Honda, this, that, and the other. How much is it going to cost me? I said, well, I'm glad you asked that question. It's structure-based pricing. It's going to cost you exactly what you can afford, what your budget is. And I walked him into that.
Yep,
And I'm supposed to get a proposal out to him tomorrow. So that guy, and listen, I've been doing sales long enough to know I have to do something really stupid to blow this one. Because I'm the only one to answer the phone. And I told him I got structure-based pricing for him. And then I said, this is the funny part. This is the funniest part. He went on the phone and he says to me, I said to him, listen, this is the format. Generally what we do. We do the sit-down interview a different day. But the first day we're going to capture the B-roll. I'm going to catch you at work. We're going to go to your different jobs. I said, what's your hobbies? What do you do? What do you like to do? And he says, work. That's all I do. I said, you don't do anything else? There's nothing for fun? No, man. That's all I do is work. He said, all right, that's fine. So when we get ready to end the conversation, he says, I do have a hobby. I said, yeah, what is it? He says, I rescue dogs. I said, you rescue dogs? You trying to get people to like you, and you tell me this at the end of our conversation? Why don't you leave with this? I said, man, I'm going to have you look like Father Flanagan. I said, we're going to have you holding that dog and a little puppy licking you, and I'll be like, yeah, I'm going to make this, I'm going to squeeze everything out of here. So he starts laughing, man. He said, but they're pit bulls. I said, all right, well, they don't have cropped ears or cropped tail yet, do they? They're floppy still, right? He says, no, it's cropped. I said, all right, we'll get different shots. We'll make it look good. Don't worry.
Yeah, that's how you got. See, finding pain points, understanding that he wanted people to like him, and he actually does something that's likable. That's you just provided a solution that nobody else he talked to or would have talked to would have asked enough questions to figure out. That's valuable. That people saying they want to charge more money, you got to do stuff like that. That's valuable. That is value. That is how your prices go from $250 a client to $2,500 a client, because he did something that he wrote a prescription. He didn't just give him some drugs. He wrote a prescription based off the needs of that client. When you ask more questions and you learn to be the cinematic solution provider, then you get to solve those problems and you add value. That's it right there, bro. That's not, whatever that proposal say, he's gonna cut the check for it. He's not gonna fight you. He's not gonna hassle you. He ain't gonna, hey man, let me you solved this problem, unlike anybody else could. That's a win right there. Real quick, Mr. B asked, you said in the community post that the content boom may not last forever. What do you think could cause the decline? So in general, I was talking about the fact that right now is the best time to be a content creator, right? Because we're on the boom of companies realizing they need content. What may change that in the future is difficult to predict, right? Because cab drivers they never would have thought of Uber. And I'm sure right now there are things in the works that we're just not aware of that may just come out of anywhere with any industry, right? I've seen new editing software that takes the words, it detects the dialogue, and then it chops up footage so that the dialogue is perfect. You just provide a script. So you upload a script, it look for those words, and then it put them together, and then it'll edit the footage for you. So I think AI would be something, if I got to pick something and guess, I think AI would be something that would be just something that would threaten us in the somewhat future. I mean, imagine if somebody had an app and you can say, all right, we want to create a video about our brand, and then the app, You just read what it say, and then it'll say, okay, now get a picture of the outside of the building. Boom. Get a picture of somebody up front. Boom. And then it edits it together, and now you got a finished video that's halfway decent. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if something like that happens in the future, but there's no telling. I'm just saying right now we're in it. We're in the incline. Ride the wave. Do what you got to do, and take advantage of it. I can't say yes or no as to whether or not the wave will continue to grow and get bigger for the foreseeable future. Yes, but I mean, there's things that we just can't predict. Like nobody saw Uber coming, right?
Right.
No accountant saw QuickBooks coming. Like, nobody saw that, and out of nowhere, some accountants getting a pink slip because the company moved over to QuickBooks. So, it's just life. It's just like, if you listen to the End of Jobs, what's that? The hand. If you listen to End of Jobs, oh, it's the hand risen.
Yeah, that's my hand.
That's the hand risen. Okay, give me 1 second. If you read the book End of Jobs, it talks about how you need to prepare for changes in the industry. Go for it, Jim.
Everything's going to change.
Right.
I mean, you talk about QuickBooks. Accountants, they didn't go out of business. They didn't go nowhere. They're still taxis. All these people, we're going to adapt. We're going to change. We're not going nowhere. We're just going to be the ones that stay the course. Anybody who's trying to get into the industry, then they're the ones that are going to struggle. They're the ones that are going to suffer. They're the ones that are going to have a hard time. We're already on the bleeding edge. We're ahead of the race.
Yep.
And that's where we need to stay. So don't flip your lid just because life's changing. It's changing every single day.
Change with it. There are certain industries where, like, it's very apparent, like truck driving, right? All these automated cars, they ain't even about your car. They're gathering that data and information so they can put those trucks on the road because they're more valuable. They're more valuable getting those loads from point A to point B than you are just wanting to stay on TikTok and not drive to your cousin's house. They can care less about that. They want to get that stuff moved. So we got a new face on here. I got to show you some love. We got a new face. This is the first time Emmanuel's been on. I got to show you some love. Like, man, come on, represent real quick.
Hey,
you've been waiting patiently.
What it do?
I like your setup. You about to drop a hot 16 right now. Where my beat at?
Let's go. Y'all don't even know how happy I am to be here. My wife knows how happy I am to be here. Yo, Ty, you've been doing things in my life, man, since even before COVID. And COVID definitely COVID definitely rocked us. But thankfully, while everybody was locked down and all that stuff, I was in the books grinding, listening to all of your streams. I have a whole playlist dedicated just for your live streams. If I missed any, it's called Business Mentality. It's private, and while I'm driving, I'm listening to it, and it's just helped me shape my business like crazy. And it's funny because I have a couple friends who are in the business too. And like you said, don't worry about competition. If you're doing right, you don't got to worry about it. But it's like, my mindset is like, I know it's totally different from everybody else, and they ain't doing what we're doing out here. And I know I'm just excited. I don't know. I'm happy. I'm pumped. I'm just all about it. I'm the one that was in the chat, I think last week or whatever. I said the Brady Bunch, so I'm happy so I'm happy we in here. Got the Brady. I can see y'all down there, right there. I see you.
I gotta do the screens like that, or like
this way. What's up?
I gotta see. For some reason, it wasn't everybody. Okay, there we go. We kind of got.
There we go. Oh, what's up, partner? What's up? I see you, and you. All right.
There you go.
Oh, there's Mario. Yo. I've been watching for so long. There's some iconic people. You got, you know how
Mario's the man.
Yeah, Mario's the man. You know how you have your what's his face? Conan O'Brien. You got your sidekicks, man. So you got Mario, you got
he have his people that's always on the couch.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, that's dope. That's dope, man. And Jim is a new one. I mean, I've been watching and he's been joining in these past, streams, and I've been loving what he has to say. I saw what you mentioned in the community chat. I was very happy to see that. And, this whole structure-based pricing thing is real. It's real, man. Like, I've always been adjusting. Like, I'm always making tweaks to my business because until I'm there, like I just got to keep tweaking it until I, get
That's
there.
what it is. It's a bunch of small steps.
Yeah. So that's what I'm focusing on. And whatchamacallit. So I guess a little success story on my end, thanks to the structure-based pricing. So I'm somewhat like in a mute. I'm like you, Alex. Like, I'm like you in the sense that just trying to niche everything down. And I think he mentioned something that Ty later suggested to change the name to instead of cinematic interviews to communication videos. That was a huge help for me because I was trying to figure out what's the proper name, what would work. So I'm reshaping that and all that. But on the other spectrum, my business gets hired from time to time to do music videos. And I sent them the brochure, had all the rates and all the stuff, you pick what you want. And I thought, music, it wasn't with the label, it was with an artist. So I try not to mess with them because they ain't got the money like that. But when I got the quote back, he picked like the middle tier. There's a top tier, there's a gold, silver, and then bronze. He picked the middle tier. I was like, oh, okay. So we're doing this type of video. Okay, cool. So he was asking me like for my opinion because he was one of those like, hey, like you're the genius mind behind this. Like, let me know what should we do? And I'm like, all right, cool. For this kind of idea you want, we just talked it through. And then even after the video was done and filmed, and first of all, my company got the uniforms, so we rolled up, I had enough, the pay was good enough that I got to have 7 of us come through with the uniform. Everybody was in black. I was in maroon, I stood out.
You gotta be the goalie. I tell people I'm always the goalie. I'm always like, my stuff is gonna be, we'll put y'all in some gray, but I'm stepping out. Yeah.
Like these people are gonna know who's in charge here, So,
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, man. So it was dope because I had my camera operators running, and I was directing in the back, and it was a cool thing. And so the video is done and all that stuff. And then even afterwards, he was the music artist was still going through the brochure, and it was like, hey, I see you have like a social media distribution, section. Can we add that to the thing? I'm like, yeah, we can add that. Like, what's up? Like, so it was just good that they had options to pick from, So I really love this structure-based pricing thing. And just real quick, I just got out the phone not too long ago with somebody else, and it was the opposite where they couldn't afford certain things. So thankfully, because of structure-based pricing, I was like, all right, bet. So what we can do is, since you can only afford this, we could take this off, we could take this off, and we could take this off. So this way we don't lose a client entirely. Right. But, we're still getting something out of it. But, we're not going over the top for them, And it's like you just said, Alex, I really like what you said. Structure-based pricing, it'll cost exactly what you can afford. And I really like that phrasing. So I knew that. I'm a note master over here, so I got all the notes on all your lives and all that stuff. So
it'll cost what you need while still making us really good profit.
Hey,
great companies can make profit with your lowest. Think about whatever the smallest. What's the cheapest thing Apple sell? What's the cheapest device? An iPhone Mini. What's the cheapest device, Rodney? Whatever the smallest one is, they make.
I think you're looking at either like an iPod Touch or. Yeah, maybe just AirPods or something like that. Something like really low key.
If you buy AirPods and nothing but AirPods, they're happy.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, this lady yesterday, I said to her, she goes, she was almost like, when somebody kind of has a question and you can tell by the tone of their voice they have a question, but they're not asking a question, but what they're. And I said, listen, I said the reason we do structure-based pricing is so that you don't pay for things you don't need, and I don't get stuck doing work that I basically am not being compensated for. I said, and to give you a brief example, I said I've gone to jobs where they were billed for the full day, and they only needed me for 2 hours. And that wasn't. They got the short end of the stick. And I said, I've gone to jobs where I was supposed to be, an 8-hour day, and 11 hours later, I'm still rolling. I said, I had one customer beat me like a rented mule. I'm not interested in that. She said, she started laughing. That was it. But I'm candid with her. I'm candid, I mean, we didn't even lunch. We started rolling at 9:00. It's 5:30. I'm like, listen, maybe we can get some dinner.
That's the one that kept changing all the outfits?
No, she didn't change the outfit, but it was like I could have exercised my independent listen, lady, we're taking lunch. It's 5:30. We've been rolling, but you know what? I want to see you again. So I'm going to just play beta right now and say, okay. And I promise my crew, I'll get you a nice dinner afterwards. So we actually rolled from 11 a.m. until 7:30. We didn't start wrapping up everything until 8. That's a long day without a break, man.
Mm-hmm. That I've been there and done it where I was like, all right, crew, I'm taking y'all out for steak. Y'all getting steak today. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. Flip that back. There you go. But I'm gonna tell you another thing that's great about structure-based pricing that people don't think about. And I spoke about this a little bit before. If people are wondering why, like McDonald's, they're going to these kiosks never forget to sell you options. Structure-based pricing on paper for a client. Because as a person, if you're pitching, you may forget 2 or 3 things, or you may feel like I'm giving you too much, or what about this? Well, what about that? Or what about, and you feel like I'm losing you. So just like a kiosk, if you put it in your proposal, it gives clients all of the options so they can make decisions. Because there's times where, man, I'll get on the shoot and I'll hear that the client needs something. I forgot to pitch them. You know what I'm saying? Like, dang, they could have really used that. Like, I should have brought my drone. I should have, and not, they know the scope of the project. I don't. They know we're going to be outdoors and everything and yada, yada, yada. So they have the ability to say, oh, you guys got drones? Let's get a drone. They got because they know the project and they know their company and everything. They have the ability to kind of pick and choose things I may forget to offer. So just like a kiosk, structure-based pricing allows you to put all of your options, all of your upsells in front of them without feeling bad. Because if you go through it on the phone, they're gonna be like, man, you ever go buy something and it's like so many prompts before you get to it. You like, man, come on, like, bro, I'm just, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I hate that. Like, let me just, gosh, we got the fake hand up here.
Got the John Cena.
Hey guys, it's funny you say the structure-based pricing because, as you know, before I was in IT and did a lot of that for like 20 years. Well, we also used to install electronic health records for hospitals. And I think it's funny that you mentioned that in regards to McDonald's the way that you did, because I'm starting to think maybe healthcare just ripped off McDonald's, because people think that it's about, oh, well, we'll share. It's about having access to your data so that you can get help immediately. No, it's not. It's because once you're done, they're going to have, they'll have their doctors sit down and type in their notes, or their doctor secretaries will, and they'll say, I did this procedure. And then all of a sudden it'll pop up and say, well, that means you probably did this, 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 and this too, didn't you? Oh, yeah. We know based upon their insurance company that we can bill for all 5 of those things. And that's electronic health records. That's what's also funny. Like whenever you go into, I have 6 kids. So when you go in and you're having a baby, take everything home because you're paid for it. They may have only changed 1 diaper. Man, those nurses were in there counting out every little, like everything that is possibly in your room. It's all been bought and paid for. Structure-based electronic healthcare records. Now that you mention it, that's exactly
that everything was paid for. I mean, I don't plan on being in that situation again. But I know that now. I'll tell my friends that because, I'm just, let me knock on some more.
Oh, we'd be stuffing and filling up the bags and walking out of there just
taking extra babies. Give me that baby too. I didn't pay for that.
Like, you got another diapers, don't you? Yeah, I'll take those too. Just throw them on the bill.
Let me get that. Emmanuel, what area are you in, bro?
So I'm in Long Island, New York, man. Yo, it's weird because like I've been watching you guys for so long. I'm not used to speaking. Like even from the jump when you were like telling everybody, "Yo, say what up," and I'm over here like, "Oh wait, I'm on." Like, yeah, you can hear me. You know,
You're part
I
of
gotta get up with Emmanuel. I gotta get up with Emmanuel and Robert because
yeah,
far from you, man. I'm in the Poconos, and you know New York's about an hour and 15 minutes to me.
yeah,
Now,
it's an
Long
hour for me.
Sure. Yeah, because I got to go over 3 bridges to get out there. So,
Oh
but
wow, yeah,
and then throughout
24
next
24 hours for me.
yeah, man.
And then, but Robert's he's in Pittsburgh, and I go out there with my daughter because she goes to UPMC for checkups. So I'm gonna get up with both you guys, man.
Yeah, man. We out here.
Absolutely.
We out here, man.
And the on the community, post a meetup in the meetup board. Maybe y'all got just shoot a little bit.
That'd be
or something.
cool.
Yeah,
That'd be
Absolutely.
dope. That'd be dope.
put that back there. That, you know, I'm about 24 hours away from you. About a 24-hour drive away from y'all. So
Well,
if I'm ever like
listen,
driving
man,
through, you know,
I've done that once. Road trip
I
to
told
Texas.
my wife that you're gonna give me a shipping address because you getting some cornbread sometime in December. Yeah, that cornbread's so good, man. If you mess with, you need white gloves. You might bite your fingers, man. That's for real.
man, I'm trying to lower my cholesterol, but send it. Like, you make sure you send it too. I'm trying to eat Cheerios so I can lower my cholesterol.
That's funny, man. That's funny.
I love to hear from people who've been watching and then they get on and I get a chance because there's so many people that I hear from that's like, man, I love it, especially like in different countries, like different. They're like, oh, you know, it come on at 4:00 in the morning, but you know what I'm saying. I just love to hear from people.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Yo, and real quick, like you said, you mentioned before, and I'm so glad that you did because I was already there. But you mentioned like, you know, yo, your all your like your cases and stuff like that has your label on it. What do you think I did a long time ago? I slapped these bad boys all over my cases. So that way when I showed up to the shoot, you know, they think I own the cases and all that stuff, you know.
Go to Sticker Mule, stickermule.com. They're dirt cheap. You get a stack of them for like $30.
Yeah.
And you can just slap them on everywhere.
That pins. I'm over here pulling everything.
Yeah, I brand myself to death. What's going on from all the way from India? I appreciate the love from India.
You
appreciate the love. Mr. B asks, do you round up or down on hours? So I sometimes mostly do it in half-hour increments where over 15 minutes is half. Under, I'll be nice and say, all right, we'll take that. We'll take that. So perfect. That's how I usually do it. 30 minutes is the so I do half hours if I really like them. If it's a big business, we're doing hours. It's gonna be real with you. Google can afford it. And they don't have any problems. So yeah, structure based is dope. But make sure if you have not taken the course, make sure you take the course so you fully understand how to write it out. Because if you just do it's some math to the base rate. Especially when you start adding in multiple people. There you go. When you start adding in multiple people and the way you pitch it is, hey, 4 guys is at a discounted rate, but you need to know how to add up those 4 guys onto that base rate. And then I talk about how to pay those guys on that base rate because you're going to make profit off the first one. And any hour over that it's going to be just cha-ching. So it works.
Right.
Big time. Pricing is big, man. Like, for me, I had to come up with just a way to make my pricing make sense to people because clients were like, everybody we call is just eyeballing. Like the price go from here to here and we don't understand why. And it's not that they have a problem with the pricing. It's just that they don't understand, like, how did you get to that price? Right? Like, how did you get here? Like, and I noticed, like, when you go buy a car, go look at a Corvette, right? And go look at the base rate and then go look at like a Z06. If they took away all the stats, like all the information, and they just said, well, this is a Z06, it got 200 more horsepower than the base rate, you still would be like, I need more information than that. Like they have to tell you that this comes with the catback exhaust system. It comes with the IntelliTrack, blah, blah, blah. That gives you, they itemize it so much that even if you got a base model and you added everything by itself, it would be more than the Z06. So you're like, I might as well go with the Z06. So any cars like that. I just use that as an example because I'm, it got to be Detroit muscle for me. But any cars like that, you know what I'm saying? And so you can break down the pricing, and then you leave with the car you can afford, at the car note you can afford, with the down payment you can afford. They do it structure-based pricing in just multiple levels. They do it kind of with financing because they're looking at interest rate, they're looking at down payment, they're looking at trade-ins, they're looking at what your monthly note will be, and then they're doing it with the actual car and the price. So, it's something you're used to. You just never thought about it. You've been eating this apple pie for years and you never thought about what went into it. And now we teach you a way to use that with your company. And like I said, business is just about growing. Like, it's just about learning every day. Even though I'm teaching you guys, and you guys may think I'm on level 100, I'm still trying to get to level 200, and I'm going to take you with me. So it's not like I'm like, oh, here I am, I got it and figure it. Nope. Until you see me come on and I got like gold plated shelves and like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, and it's all perfect and it's diamonds just hanging. And I got this big old chain with a FlashFilm Media logo on it, and I like spin it. And it's like, until you see that, I'm still here grinding, man. I'm out with my camera too. You know what I'm saying? So until I'm there, I'm here. So it's all good. And when I get there, I'm gonna show you how to get there. So, it's all good. So we got who's the last person to pop on? Brandy, you got a win for us this week, Brandy? Or you broke some ankles this week? I need one of the two stories. I need a win or some ankles. Me? Yes, ma'am. We hear you loud and clear.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure. No, yeah, I had a big win this week. I just sent off the final video for the NBA player I was telling you guys about last week.
Nice.
Wait. Fill them in. Fill them in a little bit, just so in case they didn't see that one. Fill them in a little bit.
Yeah. So one of my clients that I've had for years actually recommended me to a retired NBA player that lives out here. So he had a camp that was going on, and my client, he called me. He's like, "Hey, what are you doing tomorrow?" And I was like, "I guess I'm working with you tomorrow. Like, what's going on?" And he was like, "Oh, do you know this NBA player, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I know who that is." And he was like, "Yeah, well, he has a camp tomorrow. He needs a videographer. I told him you're the best in the business." I was like, "Thank you." So, I called him, and we got everything squared away, and I ended up shooting it on Saturday, and I just finished it today. I just sent them the links to the videos. So I just got done with that today. So that was pretty big for me because it was quite a few people there. It was our councilman was there. It was a couple of other NBA players that were there, and just other people who are really well connected in the community. So it was nice to meet them and, be able to show them what I can do. So I was pretty excited about it. I'm still excited about it. I'm exhausted from it, but I'm still excited about it because I still have to go do some other things this week. But yeah, I'm excited about it, and I'm hoping to become something that's or provides longevity. So yeah.
So how do you feel about because I know how you feel about basketball. Like, how does it feel to be there? Like when you filming and you get to, you know what I'm saying? Like for me, I'm always torn between wanting to watch the action and film. I gotta tell myself, you film it, you can watch it later. So how does that, you know what I'm saying? How does that work for you?
Well, I mean, honestly, it is hard because low key, because I played basketball. So I want to coach a little bit.
Yeah. You're like, pick and roll. Come on.
I'm like, no, run the banana swirl, run it, I'm like, no, run this. So it's kind of hard getting caught up in that.
I'm fat. So when you say banana squirrel, I'm thinking about ice cream. But go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm like, Dairy Queen. What time Dairy Queen close? We running the bananas. Okay, my bad. Go ahead.
Banana cut. But yeah, so it's kind of hard. Or sometimes somebody get crossed over, and I'm like, "Ooh," and I'm like, "Ooh, wait, you can't say that. It's on audio. Wait." So it's like a couple of those things. But I mean, this week was big because you guys know how in the water I was about, or just on the fence about, doing what I'm actually passionate about and how I can make money off of it. And it was just like, wow, it's been solidified. You can make money off this. You just got to keep going. So for me, it was more so God gave you the vision. Stop doubting what he gave you and go on with it and do what you're supposed to do. So I was like, okay, let me stop thinking, oh no, I can't make a living off this when I really can.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Camps are big. Camps are. I was doing, like I said, a lot of lacrosse camps, and the reason lacrosse was just, I never played lacrosse, but it's just big out here. Like it's as big as football. Well, not as big as nothing as big as football in Texas, but it's bigger than it is in most places. And the camps are mad expensive. Like they were paying like $2,500 for like a 3-day camp, and it was like 800 students. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, what in the world? Like, because I never understood like how can y'all afford to pay me what y'all paying me? And they were like, we have teams flying in from California that'll be here. Like there were coaches for like all the top colleges, Michigan, Ohio State, like all the top colleges had lacrosse coaches there. And I was just like, wow, like I just never knew. I never, I had sports photography and did it at a high level, but then they hired me for that. But I never understood like um, you know, what camps, how profitable camps are. They were flying people in, paying for them, putting them up. Tommy asks a really good question. Thanks for the super chat, by the way. Do you use Proposify for contracts and Honeybook for invoicing? So, yes, I use I'm gonna tell you what I like about Honeybook. I like the process, the sales process, right? How you can set it up, and maybe I'll share my Honeybook setup. But you can set it up and have a client go through a certain process. And when they get to the point where we're sending out a proposal, I'm sending it out through Proposify. And when they click yes and do all that in contracts, then I'm going back to Honeybook to finish the process. So I like that. I like Honeybook, which uses Stripe for payment, or I like to use Square Pay. But the reason I've been using more Square Pay, or at least switch to do it more, was because they offered financing for companies or people. So people who wanted to get, great video for their upcoming whatever, who may not have had the budget, they can either finance it, and Square would handle the financing. So I would get a check, and that's between you and them, because I ain't about to come and put hands on you. And I can just get my check and I'm good. So it worked out with some clients that asked, "Did you offer financing?" We sure do. Here you go. So it worked. And it's good to have multiple things, multiple methods of accepting payments, just in case something happened. You may get fraud and freeze this up, and you don't want to not be able to get to your money, and all kind of stuff. So it's good to have multiple. So I have Stripe and Square. So yeah.
Yeah, I use Honeybook, and whatchamacallit, I offer, if I feel like they're struggling a little bit with the payment and all that stuff, I offer the payment plan, and I do that through Honeybook. Actually, when I get the last payment from this music video that we worked on, I'm at the point that I'm done spending money on equipment. I mean, you've been preaching about it, and I'm done with it. So it's all about the education. So once that payment comes in, bro, I am getting that module 1. I have it already in the shopping cart. I'm just waiting for that payment to go through, and then I'm excited because I know you're gonna continue to punch me in the throat, and it's cool because it's all about growing and stuff like that. So I'll make the tweaks that needs to be made and just keep this thing moving, man. But
as long as you got your neck brace on, you good.
That's it. Yeah, I got it. I got it, man.
Yo,
I got it.
Make sure you guys look into Square though, because with payments are cool, but you got to think, what if somebody run off on the plug, right? You can't go do what you want to do. You got to and it may cost you money to go after somebody. Like let somebody else take that burden and look at Square to offer financing, because Square will cut you a check, and sometimes they have promotions where if they finance, they'll cut you a little bit more. They give you like 1 or 2%. They'll cut you a little bit more, but let somebody else deal with the financing part and splitting up the bills and all of that, because they're gonna run credit, and that's what I mean. You don't want to get caught up in that situation if they don't make a payment. You know what I'm saying?
So there's a difference?
So I can do financing through Square, my current Square account.
Yes. So Square, as long as it's a business account, which I think all of them are, Square will pay you up front, and they're gonna run a credit check with the client. They'll pay you up front, and then they will bill the client. So once you get paid, just like a dealership, once you get paid, you good. If they make the payments or not, that's on their relationship with Square, because Square has the collectors and all of that stuff to go out. They can get it put on the credit report and do all that stuff. You would have to jump through a lot of hoops to get that done.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
So that way you're off the hook from, worrying about payments. Go for
You
it.
know what I gotta do? Okay.
So do they? We use Square and Proposify and QuickBooks, but the one thing I really like that Square just started doing was ACH payments. Just to save me some.
Yeah.
I mean, especially on those bigger dollar amounts, man. I do not want a credit card coming.
Break that.
No, you're right about that.
Break that down to people who don't know, because when you get
ACH
big payments,
that's basically they're going to go into the client's bank, take the cash out, and scoop it into your account, and they're not going to be taking the big percentages like they do when you swipe a credit card.
Now let me say one thing real quick. When you start doing deals over 10,000, they're either going to pay by check or they're going to do ACH. They're not going to do credit cards because one, you don't want them to do credit cards because 2.7% on 10,000 will make you mad as I don't know what. 2.9%. You want to do either direct wire transfer, which this is, or a check. That way you're not hit for 2.9. And some credit cards is like once over a certain amount, they're going to take more. So you don't want to eat that percentage. A lot of times, a lot of companies give you a rate and they find out you're paying with a credit card and they add taxes to it, which really don't have to, but they will just to make sure you eat that amount, and they don't have to eat that amount. So doing a wire transfer, you get exactly what the dollar amount is, and you're not paying a fee for it because banks don't charge for wire transfers.
That's why we don't use American Express. I've had people that'll come in like, oh, I'll put it on my Amex. I'm like, I'm sorry, we don't accept that. And they were like, well, we've got to use that. That's what I put all my miles on. And I just turn it on them and I just tell them, you know who's paying for those miles, don't you? I mean, if you want to use your Amex, I'm going to drop 5% more onto this particular bill, and then we'll accept your Amex. But we're not going to pay for the vacation for you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I get that. Dice, is that I was about to call him D Nice. Real quick, good question came up. You've been grinding, working on sales as much as you can, but been busy working on projects for other clients. Do you think it's worth hiring a part-time sales rep? Yes, but it may be better to hire a part-time editor because editors is usually the place where the bottleneck is. So, and it's a lot of editors. It may not be a lot of people that fully understand your business enough to sell it the way that you can. So I like being a sales rep because it's hard to train people everything that I know and have been experienced through. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to do it unless they have a passion for it. So I know that I can get people to edit. So I usually find other things like that to outsource so that I can continue to work on the business and not get caught up working in the business. So that's the part you may want to outsource. I think somebody else had something they wanted to say.
I was going to say something about after following up Emmanuel, he said he's not getting more equipment. I've been working with a hybrid camera / video for a while, and my wife is. I'm like, I remember the live stream you did a few weeks ago. If you can't afford 2 cameras, you can't afford one. Right? So, and the thing is, it's like I don't care what anybody says. I need that FX3 because when I rent an FX3, just tell you the difference between my A7 III that I'm using right now, and I'm just kind of make things work. I have to color grade, make people who are green, magenta green, every single clip. And I'm down here 2-3 hours more than I have to be. With that FX3, it's contrast and exposure. That's all you have to mess with.
I got something for you.
It's going
to blow your mind. I got something for you. It's going to blow your mind. Okay. There's a website. There's a company called EOSHD. EOSHD.com. There's a blog site. They post a lot of information about camera gear. Usually every few years, they come out with a personalized picture profile that corrects all of that. And you pay like $29 and they give you a PDF so that you can go through your settings and change everything. And literally they go into settings you may have never seen, which talks about tone and color to help you correct that. They'll even give you a picture profile to help your Sony emulate the Canon look. It's like $29. I buy it every time. They just dropped a new one for the A7S III. And speaking of redundancy, I know I talk about it all the time. I fried the A7S III on a job about last week. So I got 2 of them though, which this was going to Sony, which they fixing it and going to send me another one. But just to give you an idea, like what, that's my go-to camera. And everybody's saying they don't want to buy gear. Don't forget NAB coming up in October. They about to announce a lot of new stuff. So we're gonna see how strong y'all are this October, because
trust me, I'm good, man. I'm good with. I ain't loyal to any of these brains, man.
What did you say that website was again, Ty?
EOSHD.
EOSHD.
Yep. Echo Oscar Sierra Hotel Delta.com. In fact, let me pull it up. They about to get a bunch of tell them that Ty from FlashFilm Academy sent you. If you look at the Pro Color 5 to the left, it's called for Sony cameras. They got it for the A7S III, A7C, A7 III, and more. And you watch the video on the before and after, and you will be like, how did I live without this? They make really, really good stuff. Dale Harris, let me answer this question real quick. Popped up. First of all, thank you for the super chat. Those who support the channel, I appreciate you. Whether it be you're viewing, you're clicking the like button, any way you support the channel, you are much needed, loved, and appreciated. I hope I can help you make $1 billion quadrillion. And yes. I hope I help you put your kids in private school so they can be real, like, stuck up and their nose be in the air, and you be a proud parent. Because I worked hard for my daughter to drink Starbucks and rock Uggs and be stuck up. I worked hard for that. It's better than her being in the hood. So that's what we want. And I mean, that's what I want. Anyway, Ty, can you explain how you set up packages for photography? Okay. So I'm gonna be really honest with you, because it differs based on the product, right? Your packages need to not have a spread. It needs to not be just something that is, blatantly across just the idea of photography. Make sure that it is for a specific product, right? Because I can look at headshots and then I can determine upsells for that headshot. I may do the skin smoothing. I may do teeth whitening. I may do hair color fiction. Listen, I've had people pay me to add makeup on women because I have apps that allow me to do that, and they'll pay for it. And usually with packages, just like with McDonald's, the headshot is the cheeseburger, and I'm gonna let you choose a few things, and a package will come with headshots, skin smoothing, teeth whitening, and it'll be cheaper than if you went with just the package and added the 2. So that's package number 2. Package number 3 may include everything, and it'll be a little bit cheaper than if you bought package 1 and then added it on. So it works out that way, where you're cheaper. It's cheaper for you to get it than to just add it on. It just keeps moving you up the scale. So that's how I work my packages. And keep in mind, they need to be very specific to the type of service or what you're providing. That's why I tell you to get 3 niches, because it's hard to do this if you sell everything. Focus on 3 products and be the best at that. Now, it's hard to do this and come up with all this and write all this copy and provide all these examples if you do everything. It's going to be hard to have examples. So focus on 3, knock those out the park, be a beast at it, and grow from there. There you go. Now you know, and no one's half the battle.
G.I. Joe.
That's right.
G.I. Joe.
People who are under like 35 are like, what? So they're like, what are you talking about? Mario, quiet. What's up, go-go mode over there? I know you got like 6 there, Mario. Like, I'm just letting y'all get y'all little sales out the way because I'm closing one right now. I got somebody outside my window. I know you and Darren got some sales this week. I got a guy out my window right now. Just said he want to order 2 packages by tomorrow.
I got a lead through Thumbtack. I'm actually working on their proposal right now.
Okay.
Nice.
Because like, you know how Ty say do the project manager thing. So I got a direct lead through Thumbtack. So I hit the guy up. Hi, Brandon, I'm the project manager, yada, yada, yada. Now he called because he saw the number in our email signature, and he like he wants headshots or whatever. He has a bookkeeping company. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm asking him about his business and stuff, and he tells me, what he's looking for in the headshot, and then I'm asking more information about his business, and he was telling me stuff. I need this. I'm gonna need that. I'm like, we also help. We also do commercials, promo videos, and all that kind of stuff. We can add all that to your proposal, yada yada. He like, that's perfect. That's great. So I'm like, if you want any of this extra stuff, you'll be able to check it and all that. But yeah, I mean, that's awesome. He seems really excited. So just getting him finishing up his proposal. We're gonna have it for have it for him tomorrow. But I mean, that was pretty cool because I wasn't expecting that call. Normally, because I got my Thumbtack set up to where they, he filled out the discovery form and everything. But then I have Honeybook send an email so they can schedule a consultation. Congrats, Jim. So they can schedule a consultation. But he didn't do that. He just straight up called right after he filled out the form. So I kind of had to do it on the spot. So I definitely can say that just the stuff that Ty taught us, I was able to, because I didn't even have my my systems and processes in front of me. It's just like I guess I got so comfortable with doing it, so I was able to, it wasn't on a spot call. Like I was babysitting actually. I was watching my niece and nephew. But they were doing what they were doing, watching TV or whatever. But I'm in the other room, doing what I'm doing. So I wasn't even like in front of my computer in my office or none of that. But it's crazy. I was able to, present it as such. And then, he just seems excited. So then he was like, how much is this going to cost? And then he stopped himself and was like, oh, I know all that's going to be in the proposal. So I'm gonna just pick what I want. And that's going to be it. All right, cool.
It's funny. You did two things that I usually do on Thumbtack to be very successful or take these to the next level. One, I always sent my phone number because some people don't like computer stuff. They're like, I don't know nothing about this computer. I'm just really trying to work. I sent my phone number and they called me. And two, you talked to them, you found out what their problems were, and you told them that you do everything. So now you've created a customer for life that may have just bought a $200 headshots. And hold on, we got news coming in from news station. Something about Jim. Whoa, wait a minute. Okay, Jim.
Yeah, Jim
we got some news from Jim that just came in. Jim, I'm gonna let you jump on here and explain to us what happened live right now on the show. Just Jim, just let him know.
I got to turn in the chair because you're all over there now. So.
just live.
So as we're sitting here, my Proposify actually just went off and said, by the way, somebody's reviewing something. And I got this long email from them just saying, hey, just change the verbiage on this and this, and we're good to go. And ended with, nice. Thank you so much with your time and help on this. I'm really grateful that we have this type of service available to us in our backyard. Let's make this awesome. Full steam ahead. Excited to be working with you.
We have a winner live on the show.
Wow.
I'm telling you, this guy knows what he's talking about.
It's crazy that it's live.
Right,
it's crazy that you sit there and this live is popping up. That's what's up. I love it.
Wow.
That's why I have my cell phone out. I'm all like, what did they say?
Man,
so Jim, if you want to dance or celebrate, we're not going to judge you.
No judgment. No judgment.
We all know.
No judgment. See what people who don't
get jiggy with it.
People who watch live don't realize that when we cut off and we don't go live, we still talk. It get real raw, and that's when he probably gonna dance. I know what's up. People don't know that. Yeah, we chop it up on here, but.
Oh, that's what happens?
Oh, yeah, that's what happens.
All the lives I watch, y'all still
when the live ends, the live doesn't end.
We call it, what is it?
The after party.
The after hours. Hey, Rodney,
Emmanuel,
let me get my bottle.
He was off at the end.
Didn't we call
it
the
be
after
telling
party?
His wife.
The after party.
It was the after party. I think
it was the after party we called it. Y'all don't understand that we get up, it go down. When I cut recording, I'm like, we ain't recording. Let me tell you something. It get real. So we're gonna say that dance for the after party. Definitely. So yeah, y'all think the show is over with when it's over. It's over for y'all. but it ain't over for us. So you just
I
want to put
left
that
my
out there.
dancing shoes.
It's
Oh,
okay.
man.
It's
All
okay.
right.
So Rodney, what's you want to share a little bit about just kind of the process and things? Look at that face, man. What you do? Just kind of, you know what I'm saying?
This mother
Right.
No, and we did talk about a little bit. I shared a little bit of the preliminaries.
Rodney, your camera's too far back. Just FYI, I know how you like to do
it. You know what? I'm out. Forget y'all. I'm out. Bye. I'm done.
You go audio only. You gonna go audio.
Everybody
never
in here.
looked so
First of all,
good.
my hair ain't right.
Okay, you know what?
You saved this for the after party. Why you got to put me on blast?
You're right.
I could take it in the after party, man. We gotta have business.
Oh, man.
You're right.
Algorithms are messing up right now. I see that. Look at Brandon's face. Brandon's like, I ain't got time for this mess. I ain't got time for this. Y'all need to shut up. I'm gonna break somebody's ankles.
Only ties, honey. Only ties.
Okay, that works for me. Ty, line up, get them ankles. So part of it was what I sent out yesterday, in regards to literally going out there, knocking on doors, and making contacts to kind of get into this new niche, right, that we're trying to break into. And straight up, I'm actually working right now, so I apologize. I get a little nervous about it because it's not after the fact that I've made the contact. I'm cool with you. We can be best of buddies and friends and everything. It's that initial contact that I have that fear of rejection with, and judgment, rejection, and all that mess. So I manned up yesterday. Mrs. was with me, even though she wasn't feeling good, and we went to go make some contacts. I put that information out there, and lo and behold, it was a 1-for-2 situation. Got good feedback from the first one that we met up with, and did a call to them today. I had to leave a voicemail. I need to follow up with them tomorrow. The second one is where that coaching from Ty really came into play. And I said every wrong thing I probably could. I'm
glad you said it. I have to say it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put it out there. So I had my stupid butt out there acting like I was a stalker coming from an MLM company. And we had punched in the address for this place. So mind you, so we're trying to go after home builders, right? So I'm looking up online, and we're like, okay, cool. So we got the top 15, and I didn't recognize at first, custom home builders, which we know is not cheap. So they do homes anywhere from, I think, like 4,000 to 12,000 square feet, pricing of $750,000 to $5+ million per home. So we're like, all right, cool. Let's figure out, who we're going to see. We're going to go down there and find out, blah, blah, blah. Pulled up. It's a gated community. We're like, okay, we don't see. Here goes Ty. So it's a gated community. So I'm thinking to myself, all right, do we need to sneak in? We can't afford to do that. No. So then we pull to the side, and someone was sitting there waiting. I call the guy up, and I said something stupid like, hey, Paul, hey, and he goes, hello, this is Paul. I said, hey, Paul, is this Paul? Yeah, hey, look, this is Rodney and Valerie. We're outside the gate right now. We didn't realize it was a gated community, blah, blah, blah. We recently come in and talk to you about something real quick there. Can you, do you have a few minutes? Like, no, like, it was like the worst introduction I could have ever done. The guy, bless his heart, was kind enough to say, look, who is this again? Do I know you? And I was like, oh, sorry, my bad. Like, here's what, my name is this, blah, blah, blah. We're trying to reach out to you. He goes, look, I'm in the middle of lunch. Give me a call back in 20 minutes, and I'll give you 5 minutes. I'm actually kind of retiring right now because he thought I was trying to, like, do banners, pamphlets, brochures, or whatever like that, like other people have contacted him about. I was like, no, we're not trying to sell you anything. Here's what we're trying to do. It's like, cool, call me in 20. We called him in 20. And one, I had to apologize for being an idiot and told him that is not how I meant to come at you. And I apologized. Honestly, I was nervous. I was trying to basically do X, Y, and Z. And so he basically very kindly said, I'm not in the position right now to do that because I'm kind of like part retired, or I want to retire part-time, blah, blah, blah. I asked for some referrals. And he's like, I don't know anybody at this moment in time, but basically good luck. You have a good one. I was like, cool. And so I had to kind of put a different spin on it because I was like, I can't believe I just did that. And my wife was looking at me like, I don't know what you were doing like 20 minutes ago. Like, who was that? Like, everything you said was like everything I hated about MLMs, like everything. And Ty was coaching me on that. He's like, dude, you can't go in there and act like, hey, well, and I'm sure a lot of folks here have probably been hit up by MLMs. And it just wasn't the right approach, obviously. So the thing that I learned from that, and I'm in the process of writing a guy an email, and yes, Ty, I am working on 50% reduction on that, this is the thing I learned, and this is what I'm going to take with me when we go back and meet this other company, is it's all about edification. Number one, you want to build them up and stroke their ego. And two, you got to come at it from the approach of, I need your help. That's the biggest thing. I need your help. I don't know what I'm doing. We're trying to break into this market. The reason why we came to you is because y'all are the top dog. I mean, you're number one for a reason. And you feed that ego, and obviously not in a fake way, right? I mean, you be genuine about it. Like, look, I looked you guys up. I saw this. I saw that. I respect that. You guys obviously got there for a reason. You're obviously retiring for a reason or whatever. Can you please help us do X, Y, and Z? We want to make sure that we work with the best. So when we do get this product put together, we can go sell it to the other folks. We're not going to sell it to you, obviously. We're giving it to you. This is one of the ways that we're saying, thank you. We just need you to let us know what's wrong and what's right about it. And that was probably one of the biggest learning lessons. And if you want to consider that a one, which I do, that I had like in the last 24 hours. It was a hard one to swallow because when I was like talking to Ty, I was like about to get defensive about it. I'm like, you don't know what I went through, bro. You don't know how I was feeling. I'm sitting with my wife and she's looking at me like I'm stupid. Like, no, you don't. I did say no. And I had to swallow that pride a little bit. I was like, okay, take a deep breath. Where did I go wrong? What did I do right? What can I do better? And I'm truly thankful to you for that, Ty. I really do appreciate that.
I tell people often whenever you go to a beta client, right? And you go to a beta client, go to them not to give them anything. Like we approach it like, I'm here to give you, I'm here to do for you. Nope. I need your help. I am trying to develop something that I can sell to other people. And you guys are the best. I need your help. In exchange for your help and your time, I'm going to make sure that this works for you. You ain't ever got to pay for this. As long as you help me make it work. But I need your help to create this. Because business owners are so used to folks like, I got this for you. This is free. I'm giving you. That is fake giving. And they're not used to people saying, you know what? You guys are great at this. I can really use your help. It won't take nothing but time. Just us having conversations, us building a relationship. Let me create this for you, or let me understand what needs to be created for you. Let me have an understanding of your business so I can help create a product for other people in your business. And when you do that, they'll invite you in because it's completely different energy than what they're used to getting. They're used to being sold stuff all day, every day. They're not used to an opportunity to actually help someone. You can go in and say, I'm a student. Where at? FlashFilm Academy. And I am trying to get help with this, with a project. I don't care how you use it, but you got to go to them and don't go into them giving them anything. Ask for help. Right. Hey man, you killing it. You obviously the best or one of the best in the area. I'm really trying to create something that can help businesses grow. And if I can help your business grow, cool. And I'm not going to charge you nothing for it. Now, if they want to do something different, if you say, I got this video and they want to do headshots, charge them for headshots, give them a discount. I'll get a discount on that. But you gotta let go of something because their knowledge is the most valuable thing you can get. Period. A dentist can tell you how to charge other dentists and make more money than a regular person. So you want to get their knowledge. That knowledge is valuable. Marcus, good looking out on the super chat. Appreciate you.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I just wanted to put my get out of ankle breaking card up for free. I don't usually take out the plastic because it's precious, but I try to keep it in the plastic. You know what I'm saying? But I got a card here that states that my ankles can't be broken because this card right here. Let me put that out there.
You got a get out of jail free card.
That's a one
All
of a
right.
kind. This is my get out of jail free card. It's number 157 out of the other 333 ankles that's been broken. Let me see if I can get that. So I just want to say my ankles preserve the ankles. Preserve the ankles. Let me put it back in the plastic here because we keep it in pristine condition. All right, there we go. Let me put it back here. You guys talk amongst yourselves. All right. Now that my ankles is back safe, now that we in the good grace of having ankles. Oh, because I ain't trying to get my ankles broken in Vegas. You got to do way too much walking in Vegas to have your ankles broken. Can you imagine Vegas in a wheelchair? And it's hot. So, you know what I'm saying? I just want to put that out there. But yeah, when it comes to beta clients, and we got a script in module 1, we got a complete script that kind of helps you do this, but it's all about just the way you approach them, because they just like yourself. When you get that LLC, everybody who got a new LLC, you got phone calls, you got letters, emails, everybody and their mama looking for you. So it's crazy.
All right, go ahead.
No,
I'm sorry.
go ahead.
I'm sorry.
You got hit up like crazy?
Yo,
hey,
I was to a point. It's to a point. All right, so I got my LLC last year, and immediately, like, mail after mail after mail after email, and like I got to a point that I was about to like ask you a question live on one of your live streams, but I didn't, I was nervous to ask and all that stuff. But I'm like, is any of this like legit? Because they seem promising. They're like, oh, you're new and we can help you and all this stuff. No. So I was like, I'm gonna go with my gut and think that this is like junk mail, and they're trying to get your boy. Yeah. So now that you give that disclaimer, which I don't know if you have an idea of like possibly doing a video for that, because if that's gonna be something that you're gonna be doing like all the time, that might be like another one of your promos.
Oh, no, I'm just gonna do it a few times and then that's it. Yeah.
All right.
Because I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna tell you something else, because that's a section in the master course. But I'm gonna tell you more, and I'm gonna give you this tip that's in the master course that people like. Am I gonna learn something from? Listen, when you get an LLC,
oh my gosh,
don't put your home address down.
Yeah,
don't put your home address down. Everybody took the course, understand this. I'm gonna give you this though. Never put your home address. Always get a different address. Mm-hmm. And of course, I'm gonna go into what type of address, but I'm gonna say that. But I'm gonna tell you why. Because just like all of these companies that pull your information, understanding that you're a new company and you out here, there's a lot of shady people that's like, oh, a video production company in a house. So if I break in this house, I got a whole lot of video production equipment. Mm-hmm. Wow. That's a perfect lick to hit. Perfect. Google search for this company. Oh, it's in his neighborhood. Perfect. That's exactly what I know. He got some gear on his channel. His behind the scenes footage on Instagram. He's shooting with A7Ss and he's doing everything. Perfect. Mm-hmm. Oh, he also posted on his social media that he's on vacation this week. Perfect. He turning up.
He has a Brandy Davis card. Oh
right.
My God.
I need my ankle saved. You know,
he got friends in high places.
Right.
He banking.
That's why I post a few pictures with the
That's
Glock
all
collection.
Type of value right there. You're worth $1.27.
It's worth 2 ankles. That's what it's worth. And ankles is priceless.
And those are priceless.
Priceless.
Yes.
Priceless ankles.
Yes.
The cost of breaking ankles is priceless.
A cast. You see the little cart they got with the wheel on it that you put your knee on? I ain't about that life for another 20, 30 years. My ankles are valuable. I like to do stuff. I like to move around. I steal hoops. I still play football. I need my ankles. Go for it, GMO.
Y'all sleeping.
Can you hear me good?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
He want his ankles too.
I don't want none of that. No smoke.
No smoke. GMO, you look like a hooper though. You look like a hooper though.
I play baseball though, but that's about it.
I would have guessed hooping. But go ahead, my bad.
Yeah. So my beta client today, I've been working with him for a while, developing the products and stuff. And he hit me up today and he told me that, some lady approached him from the news press, and they told him that they wanted to publish some of the content that I've created for him. So, he messaged me. He was like, hey, do you want me to give her your number? Because, maybe you can take it further. And, give you more opportunities. But the problem is that I'm not public yet. Just because I had to build a brand new brand, and I'm still in the process of creating everything, and I'm not public. So I wanted to ask you how can I go about that? Would I, when I talk to this lady, do I give her a contract for copywriting and for licensing of use, or like how would I go about that if I'm not a public company yet?
That's easy, bro. The definition of luck is preparation meeting opportunity. This is a great opportunity. You may not have to be public as far as LLC, but you may want to get that website up there. Look, that's her calling right now. I see you on that live. We supposed to be going out tonight. You on that live talking to Ty? We supposed to be going. Yeah, I know. That's all good. Oh, you well enough to make it live, but you ain't well enough to meet me after. It's all good. It's all good. No,
you ever see those dudes that call out from work, but think I'm gonna get that check?
Get that check, yes. Listen, baby, I got that check that day. I was feeling good, baby. I've been exposed. Okay. And then she go tune in. You on this live, you got you in trouble. No, I would say the definition of luck is preparation meeting opportunity. Usually with media, I let it go. I don't, you have the right to use it as long as you give me credit. Right.
Okay.
I had some stuff posted in Cosmo. I just want credit. FlashFilm Media, Ty Turner, whatever. Your website. Usually whenever you ask for media credit, ask them to credit your website. It's free advertising. Don't let people search for you. I don't care what you got. If you got a coming soon sign on it, if you got a whatever, have them credit your website. Because in your mind, you thinking about just the spike of it being out there today, but over time, it may be out there for a long time. And having that website will also, whenever somebody Google you and they search for you, it'll also pull up the fact that you were there. And that way you're not out paying for as published on stuff that other people pay for. You're legitimately published in places you say you are. So give credit to your website, your company. Like I have people give credit to flashfilmmedia.com.
Okay.
So just ask for credit and let them run with it. That's more exposure for you.
What if because I'm in the middle of creating the website and creating my proposal and all that stuff. I've paid for everything, but it's just like step by step, doing one thing first at a time, and then going to the next. So it's like it kind of caught me off guard because like you said, like I would give them the website, but there's nothing on there.
Do you have a coming soon sign with your logo?
No, I'm in the middle. I'm in the process of creating. I've already paid to get my website designed. So now I'm working with my copywriter to kind of create the copywriting for the website. So it's not complete.
Not done. Do you have is it with GoDaddy?
No, it's Squarespace.
Okay. On Squarespace, really easy. Create you a blank page.
Okay.
Put coming soon. Mm-hmm. Put your logo and put a form where they can submit their email address. That's it.
Makes sense.
Put something there because your website may go up in a month or two. This article will be out forever.
True.
So even with the spike, if they really want to get in contact with you, they can. Mm-hmm. But that article will still be floating around a month or two when you up going strong. You know what I'm saying? So it's still a great opportunity. Always give photo credit to your website. Always. Because some people put their name there and that's cool, but they search for your name and it's 20 people with your, nope, this is my website. I always give photo credit to my website. And it just brings people back. People may not even be interested in hiring you, but they may be curious as to who you are. And it may create, you guys do this too? And it gives your brand recognition. Like people may have seen you and learn about what you offer. And later down the line, they're like, we seen somebody who, and they go back to their article and now it takes them back to their website. So always give credit to your website. Okay. Because it's free promotion for you. Let them have it. If the press want to use, let them have it. You know what I'm saying? I was on, what is that? I forgot the name of the website that do all the photography stuff. They had a video of mine.
F-Stoppers?
Cool. I was on F-Stoppers twice. I'm cool with it. Just point it back to me. That's all. You can write an article on why you hate me, as long as it point back to me. It's because it's gonna point back to my article on why your stuff is trash. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we can play that game all day, but point it to me. You know what I'm saying? So always use that opportunity as a marketing opportunity, because it's going to be an example of social proof. This is what we do. We do it well, and we've been here. This is our proof, and those are things that add value and make clients say, "Well, his stuff been published, bro. What your stuff been?" You know, you got your mama only one rating your business 5 stars. He out here in the news. You know what I'm saying? So it'll help you go places, and it'll help. It's like a case study almost. It's social proof, especially if it's for a brand. And that beta client, you getting them. You know, you're the reason they are being published in places. You got a client for life.
True.
Because you're bringing them exposure they've never gotten. So they're gonna rock with you. And anybody else in that industry that see, oh, you got them on there. I mean, you can walk into their competitor and be like, you know, that stuff they got on Time magazine or whatever, or the newspaper. I did that. Now let's talk about what I can do for you.
Yeah, because man, like when he told me, I was like, so many things were going through my head. I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, what do I like? It was just like I was just in shock. Didn't really know what to think. I was like, damn, this is like crazy. I'm not even ready. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. I was like, I just told him like, hey, you know, take her back to me. I was like, I'll tell her that I'm the media production company that takes care of all your needs, and you know that I'll give her the correct format file to put on her blog. You know, so that way, you know, you don't have any low quality images because they wanted to pull it from Facebook, and I know they were probably going to take a screenshot and then post it on there. So I'm like, you know, just so it makes you look good on the press, you know, just let her know that I'll take care of it, and you know, we'll give her the right file so it can be a high quality.
This is what you do. Center a gallery. Don't center one file. Center a gallery of all the images that you've taken for that, because they may see something better. So center a gallery, definitely.
But what if they? Can there be any copyright issues with that, or
the media won't do you like that? The media won't do you like that. They I mean, because you're saying, yeah, you can blog about it, and you know, if they make money off advertising, so what? But they reach such a broad audience that if you had to pay to reach that same audience, it'll cost you more. You know, it'll cost you thousands. So technically, they give you exposure. They're paying you thousands for it. It's just not in the form of cash. It's in the form of free marketing. Take it and run. What else you need? You want 2 more pictures? What else you need? Like, anytime the media call me, let's go. Because I've gotten phone calls from plenty of companies who like, yeah, we seen you did the picture in the newspaper. We want to, and it's triple paid for itself. So they're doing you a favor. Like, that's how I look at it. So yeah, I am honored and happy to be a part of this. And it kind of solidifies you as a content creator. Like, the media, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, pat yourself on the back, bro. You mainstream. Like, that's a big deal. It's people who have the artist mentality that have been trying to get that attention and get front page for years. And here you go, you know, in the beginning, and you're getting that recognition. So definitely, you know, pat yourself on the back, because that's a big deal. Get a copy of that paper, put it up on your wall, hand it out to friends and family. Like seriously, like when I was my stuff got in the newspaper, I bought like 10 copies. I'm like, yeah, I need it. You know, I'm signing it for kids. They're like, who are you? I'm like, shut up. Take this paper. You see? So, I mean, enjoy it, man. Like, it's people who have been in photography for 50 years that have never seen their stuff printed outside of something they printed, you know what I'm saying? Or videography for a long time, and they've never seen it on a news site. Some people don't even make the news unless it's for the wrong reasons. Here you are making the news, your business, for the right reasons early. Pat yourself on the back, because that's a big accomplishment. Like, that's nice.
Thank you, man.
Definitely. Yeah, I would definitely, you know, get one frame, give it to your mom and them. That's what you do.
Yeah, I'm up for the whole family.
Yeah, let them be happy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're your biggest supporters. I'd have one in the office and everywhere. That's just how you do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I still got lanyards from stuff I was hired for. I still got all kind of stuff. Half of it. You know, I got all kind of, well, not that one. That was trash. I got, you know, games, and, you know, here go. This is what a press pass look like for, you know, for a Cowboys game. You know what I'm saying? Like it's old and got stuff on it, but there you go. But so keep all that stuff. Like that stuff is dope. I mean, and then you work hard to get there. So remember I told y'all I shot for Major League Gaming? Let's see if that'll pop up. There you go, 2012. So I mean, this is shooting for Duke. Keep all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because that stuff means something to you, even if it don't mean stuff to, just to look at it and say, all right, I did it. Let's continue to grow. Keep that stuff. It's those little things like that motivate you.
Like the fuel to the fire.
Yeah. That tells you you're going in the right direction. Period. That tells you you're going in the right direction. Keep it up.
Thank you, man.
No problem. Great question. Top Knox asks, what's the difference between Module 1 and the Ultimate Contract? Ultimate Contract is all contracts. Contract pack full of all the contracts. Module 1 is a course teaching you how to decide what business to go into, what niche, how to build it, everything. It's just the learning side of it. That's the big difference. Let me see. Ty, have you ever had your van broken into due to the wrap? No, I haven't. I got a camera on it. I haven't. But this is the thing. I was more scared not to have a wrap on it than to have a wrap because people breaking in don't know what they getting. And they figure, hey, this van ain't got nothing on it. We could be getting tools. We could be getting, people ain't going to break in your van for just a tripod. They may be like, I'm straight. But, if it's nothing on it, it's a mystery box. People like mystery boxes. They be buying them from Amazon and eBay. People like mystery boxes. We got to go to the fake hand. Hold on, here we go.
Well, it's funny because before we opened up our studio, actually, we had just finished getting it all built out. And in the big building that we have, on the very end, there's an antique store. And we actually got broken into. They came in through, they lifted off a 150-pound metal barred grate and broke the bricks.
Wow.
Came in through the basement, broke in, stole a bunch of jewelry and stuff, and then we ended up catching them with the DNA they left behind from smoking in our studio. But
had jury in y'all studio, or they got that from the antique shop?
But the antique shop.
Okay.
So the police said they were probably, because we hadn't even put a shingle outside with who we were yet in here. So lo and behold, you don't get back in here anymore. There's just only two ways in, and there are cameras everywhere. But they made off with so much random equipment, like the gimbal stabilizing arms, just grabbed the bag and left. And we're like, God, I can't wait to see what they end up with, what they look at when they're, what's this vest with this big arm on the side of it? When they get home. And, but insurance, business insurance.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for us, it was more of a, instead of look at it negatively, we're like, well, guess it's time to upgrade.
Mm-hmm. Cover your butt.
We just, I think the biggest pain in the butt was all the freaking fingerprints. Because the police come in, they dust and everything, and you can't tell. And next thing you know, you're touching something, and you're like, oh my God, it's everywhere.
Did you, like you said, they caught them based on DNA?
Well, I went and took a list of everything that was missing to the local pawn shops. And I used to own one years ago, and I knew that pawn shops end up, they're the losers in regards to if something's stolen. So they won't usually take it, because at least around here, because they ain't going to get any of the money back. They lose the product, and so they don't want to buy it.
Right.
So if they ever have any suspicion. So I went to the local pawn shops and I said, if somebody brings in something off of the list, just buy it. I will give you the money for it. Just buy whatever it is, because I know you're going to collect fingerprints. I know you're going to collect a photo. I know you're going to get an ID. And lo and behold, like, I got the leads for the police. I literally was like, I went down to the pawn shop and I'm like, you got it all? And they said, yep. And I'm like, here's your money. And police came down, got all their information. And then to back it all up, in our sound booth, which is right there, if you've ever been in a sound booth, they're nice, they're quiet, it's peaceful. They were in there smoking it up. So they had a good time,
Turn it into
left all their
a
stuff
hot
on the
box.
floor.
Yeah.
So, and we were just like, well, whatever. So, but got it all cleaned up and just business insurance.
Most
Insurance.
rapping studios, they smoke in the booth anyway. They hotbox it. So now they just turned into a rapping studio. That's what they did, and they're hotboxing in the studio. One thing I don't play with is when you get your van, get the proper insurance. Don't get regular car insurance. Let them know you have a business. If you're working from your home and you get homeowners or renters insurance, let them know you have a business. People think it's going to be crazy expensive, but the last thing you want to do is somebody run off with $40,000 worth of equipment, and your company's trying to cut a $10,000 check. Like, oh well, didn't tell us he was running business out of it, so we're covering the cost of the van and 2 car seats. Good luck. So what? You had 3 A7 S3s in the back.
Our auto insurance went down actually.
Yeah.
By listing it under the business instead of under personal, because the vehicle that I utilize, it's full time. It's outside here. It's used to, because I have a big SUV. We just load everything in there for right now.
Mm-hmm.
And my monthly insurance went from $200 a month for full coverage down to $800 a year.
Yeah. Because sometimes they feel like it's not your daily driver. You know what I'm saying? So the biggest part of your insurance they're worried about is collision. Like everything else, they're like, we can figure it out. Like if you take theft off of your stuff won't go down at all. You take collision off, they're like, man, your junk will be dirt cheap. So yeah, it's just the way they rock. But just make sure you don't cut corners on that. I usually overlap my, you get your homeowner's insurance, you overlap it with your car insurance, and then you can get business insurance on top of that. Business insurance is going to protect you from things like getting sued, little extra stuff, things somebody tripping, things like that. If you trip over a wireless mic on my shoot, you get some hands. So you're gonna have to sue for that, but it won't be because you failed. But things like that to protect yourself from.
So are you just talking about liability, or are you talking about a different type of insurance?
Both. I carry both because, like, for our liability, we carry a $2 million rider.
Yep.
So, which the state, like our big customers, they love that. When they hear, they're like, "Oh yeah, just add us on." We call up our insurance agent, and they'll send me a sheet of paper that says, "Hey, we're going to cover this company while you're working with them," and I can hand that over to them, and it just proves to them. It's just another way of saying, "Hey, this is a legit company."
What's up, Sister Crystal? Welcome to the show. And another thing I talk about, and everything I talk about, I'm just gonna be like module 1 is insurance for like an event. You can buy it for just a weekend, right? If you cover an event, you can get a $2 million policy and buy it. That's an upsell for me. It cost me $39. It cost my client $299. But businesses like, we gotta have it. Okay, click it. Cool. So even if the event is 1 day, we cover it for 3 days because the minimum they sell you is a 3-day insurance policy, and it covers the $2 million, and I can put their name on the policy. So if something happened, they're good, and that'll triple layer cover everything. And companies usually want a minimum of around, the good companies, when you start covering events and you getting a $10,000 check, they're gonna want a $2 million policy. Now that's also something that I can eat for $39.99 if I want to help sell the deal. Hey man, we'll add a $2 million policy on it just because you guys are spending $20,000 with us or whatever. But that's an upsell. And there's a company I use called Act Insurance, and they sell it. I learned about that, or I was really using that was with the photo booth, because people get drunk, they turn up, they want to fit 40 people in the booth. I'm in there slapping people, dragging them out the booth, and something happened because people get drunk and do dumb stuff in photo booths. Like, they do dumb stuff, real dumb stuff.
No.
Yeah. I'll give you a quick story. I should tell it on the after hours, but I'm gonna tell the PG version here. When I first got the photo booth, I was working it, and I got hired for this like event at this country club, and I was like ducked off in the corner or whatever, like in this other like room. So people would like find out about it and they would come in there. So, with photo booth, it's usually just ladies. Like the ladies love to come and take pictures in the photo booth. So this one lady, it was a group of ladies that kept coming back, and this one lady would come back by herself, and she was like, "Take a picture with me, take a picture with me." And I'm like, okay, whatever. So I'm in a booth like this, and like she tried to like hug up on me and stuff, and I'm like, all right, whatever. You know, she was a pretty lady or whatever. I'm just like, whatever. So, like later on that night, it was an open bar. I got to state that. Later on that night, she was like, take a picture with me. Take a picture with me. And so I'm like, all right, whatever. So now, mind you, it's an enclosed booth. I don't know what's going on outside the booth. And I got a screen that shows what's going on outside the booth. And I hear a guy like, Bob, you may want to come get your wife. And I'm like, get away from me. So just like the movies, this dude come over, he all like, oh, okay, you having fun in the photo booth. So while I'm sitting there, like, you know, the photo booth set up to show the pictures, you know, that you just took. So I'm blocking the screen, like, yeah, we got the photo booth set up, and you know, go in there and it prints. So it's like, and I am like, yeah, you know, in the picture, I'm trying to grab the picture, like, yeah, you know, yeah, this picture messed up. Don't worry about it, bro. Like, crazy story, but you just have fun with the photo booth. It's a lot of fun, but it'll get you in trouble. So yeah, you want to make sure you got insurance just in case something pop off and something happen. You know, my insurance sometimes for photo booths look a little bit like this, but we make sure we good, make sure we covered, and you know, we just don't take pictures with nobody in booths no more, no matter how drunk they are and stuff. So yeah, it was a good time. It was a real good time, but make sure you covered, make sure you got your stuff together, make sure you, you know, you got your insurances, you're not cutting corners, and you know, you don't want to, insurance and stuff like that are things you truly regret if you ever need it, right? If you ever get in a situation where you have to use it, you regret it and hate yourself if you've cut a corner. You don't want them to say, well, yeah, you just bought an A7S3, but we're going to give you 1/10 of the price. It was 6 months old, so you spent $4,000. We're giving you 18.5 for it. So you don't want to go through that. You don't want them problems.
Before I started my last business, I had a mentor who said to me, Alex, there's no such thing as too much insurance. There's no such thing. It's just, you know what? You never expect to need it. You never go out thinking, oh, I'm going to get into a car accident today, or somebody's going to try to steal. It happens. And when it happens, you want to dial that number. And if you don't want to hear, oh, well, you got that light plan, we can't help you. Just pay for it. It'll pay for itself.
Yep. There's nothing. There's like having good insurance. You'll get in an accident and just be like, I'm cool. Like I'm happy. Like, you know what I'm saying? You won't be all like, oh man, I'm just like, hey, as long as you're okay and nobody's hurt, I'm, you know, it's great. Like good insurance will have you really, I'm gonna say you're not worried about folks' safety, but you know, you got good insurance and somebody hits you, you're like, you living, you good? All right, I'm good. I ain't gonna trip. Cause I'm from Detroit, where when you get in a car accident, bro, it's a guaranteed scrap. Like, yeah, like I know people who've died because they slid in somebody's bumper. Like, and it's just been crazy. And I remember I moved to Atlanta and I had this little cheap car and the tires were bald and it was raining. And I had I don't know what I was doing. I like slid and like bumped somebody's bumper from behind. I hit their bumper and I jumped out the car like, and it was an old couple like, no, it's fine. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm so used to being from the D. Like, I'm out. Like, yo, it was like, no, don't worry about it. I'm like, oh, snap. I done scared these folks to death. You know what I'm saying? Just thinking I'm from Detroit. We, you know, it's supposed to be a sparring match. You know what I'm saying? I was at fault too. And they were like, we ain't even got to look at it. And the light had turned green and it was like, bang. Like, I was like, dang, here I am just from the D, but you know, you live and you learn. Yeah, just a bully. Just two old people in the car scared to death. So I try not to, I don't.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
I'm sorry.
You should be ashamed.
I'm sorry. They took off quick. I was like, you don't want to come look at the damage? They was like, no, it can't be that bad. We're good. When that light turned green, it was out of there. I was like, all right. Those,
big black guy jumped out of the car, getting ready to fight. Over the accident. Yeah, they're like, you know what? We'll take a look at it when we get home.
Right. And it wasn't even like a crash. Like, it was just like a, you know what I'm saying? Just enough to be like, boom. Like, did they hit me?
Yo.
Somebody, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was not a good look.
You want to hear something funny? Never forget. I was, somebody pissed me off. And I was pissed. This girl, she jumped in front of me. So I don't know what I was thinking. But I was like, I'm just trying to get up and close and just say what I was thinking. And as I'm looking to the side, I slide into this car. Bump into this car. And four brothers jump out. Four of them. And I'm like, I'm sorry, fellas. There ain't a lot of there's no damage here. And the girls look at me like,
Oh,
I'm like, listen, fellas. They went and they looked. They saw it. It's like they got back in the car. I was like, I dodged a bullet right there, boy.
yeah, you
Road
got
rage
lucky.
on back. And keeping
Hey,
it real goes wrong.
Yeah. You lucky it wasn't no TikTok and nothing back then. You'd have been on there, boy. I'd be dying laughing at them. Yeah, that's some scary
Four of them
stuff.
jump out, man.
Don't
Not
make
one, not two, four.
World star.
There's about to be a beat
That
down,
was
bro. You
That was
about
gonna
to
be
be like,
hip hop beat down for real.
about to see that one dude jump out with not the Timberlands. Like,
Yo, when I was
Yeah.
a kid, this guy had an accent. I never forget. I was in Brooklyn. He hit this other cat, and he comes out to try to talk, and the other dude just starts coming at him. And I just remember this long legs just running. Like I don't know if he ever caught him, but that dude was out. He
Track
left
star.
his car door open and just ran.
See, I'm in Texas.
was
Ain't no- Texas, you don't want to do that in Texas. Everybody like, oh, it's going down. Let's go. Like,
Round up the pussy.
round up. Like, oh, I've been waiting to shoot. Like, oh, just chill. Let's just talk about it. Like, it's like Texas. First time I seen like shotguns in the back of pickup trucks in the window. They got two shot, like for real. Like it's Texas. Like, be easy. Like you'll think about it. And they passing a
Open
law where
carry.
you don't even need a license to carry concealed no more. It's like you got a Texas ID. Congratulations. Pack up. Like strap up. Like what?
Yo, that's
So
like its own country there. What made you move down there? Obviously Detroit, you weren't happy, but what made you move down to Dallas?
I have family that moved down here, and I just wanted to be in their family. All my family started relocating from like Detroit and Cleveland, so I was like, all right. I was in the Army, here I am in the woods eating the MRE, and I got my phone, and they on Facebook turned up. I'm like, man, when I get out, I'm about to. So I ended up moving out here. I love it though. I love Texas. Texas is great. You get to shoot, and you get to bring your gun everywhere. It's perfect. So it's lovely. It's a great place. But I want to make sure anybody else got any wins before we get ready to peel out for the day. Make sure anybody got anything else. I like to end on the wins. I'm also going to say this too. I'm going to say a little earlier before we dip out. If you've learned anything, please post them in the comments below. It's so important that we share what we've learned on this channel, so that our team over at FlashFilm Academy can continue to bring you the content that you love. Team is growing. We got editors. That's why we got videos every day. We're dropping stuff every day. Graphics. You see graphics is turning up. Want to thank Parker for that because he a beast. The boy's good. The boy is good. What they say?
That boy good.
That boy good. That boy good. That boy.
The question is, who is who in this group? That's the question.
Who? Oh man, we gotta wait a minute. So based on hair, I think I'm
Arsenio.
I think I'm Arsenio.
I thought that was going to be me.
No, I don't know.
Alex Miles going to be the dude in the middle.
Brandy's in the back. You see the girl in the dress?
On the left, she's like, I ain't got time for this.
Brandy,
Y'all need to
Brandy
shut
about
up.
to come back.
Brandy looking at you right now like, y'all ain't about to get me killed, bro. Y'all ain't about to get
What?
me killed, bro. Man, y'all ain't want to get me
Alex,
killed.
Alex trying to go in on me?
That was Todd. Todd's making jokes.
The views and images expressed by this guest is not that of FlashFilm Academy.
You got a graphic for that. That's great.
FlashFilm Academy appreciates its ankles and the ankles and the weight they support. I don't want no problems. I go to Vegas too much. So I just want to say that real quick to the viewers that are watching. Man, okay. You ain't about to. I bought the card. I paid my dues. So I just want to put that out there real quick. Sister Crystal show. We got to check out the Sister Crystal show. You got to post a link. I want to see what that show is about. Represent real quick. I've learned the importance of how to write amount of insurance for your business. Plus, I have to watch the replay. Yeah. The right amount of insurance don't cost what you think and covers way more than you think. So keep that in mind. And I'll post that right there. Boom. There you go. Yeah, insurance is important. It's a corner you don't want to cut, especially when you're doing this for a living. And in dependability, you got to have your gear. You got to have your stuff You can't wait till you save up to buy another van later. It's not gonna happen. So you want to make sure you are in a position to recover fast, because you may have jobs on the line. I've had times where, man, you book like crazy. You book 6 months out. You can't go 3 months without a truck or 3 months without another camera. If one of your cameras gets stolen, or something as little as your V-mount batteries, you probably ain't got 50 of them. You probably got 3 or 4. And if somebody comes snatch them, it'll be a long day if you got to make it a shoot without V-mount batteries or whatever. So you want to make sure that you cover yourself, man. Redundancy is everything. If you can't afford 2, you can't afford 1. Please keep that in mind. Please keep that in mind. All right. With that being said, we're gonna get ready to wrap for the day. I want to thank everybody. Man, we always have fun on these. I want to thank everybody, and those of you that's not around for the after hour. I feel sorry for you, but the after party.
As the music starts creeping up, like when you're outside the club and you hear the.
I love the restream setup, but in the future we're gonna move to Zoom, because we're gonna have so many people that we're gonna need 100 people in here. So.
I am so glad you said that. I've been like, I got to get on first every week, because one of these weeks I'm gonna get cut.
Keep that music going, Rodney. Keep that music going, Rodney. Yeah, we gonna move to Zoom soon.
And it's gonna zoom into the Rodney shot.
We're gonna zoom in. Oh wait, we got the Rodney shot. Here we go. All right. Keep that beat going, Rodney. Keep that beat while I get us out of here. Let me get my quiet storm voice. I want to thank you all for joining the show today. I am your host, Black Lavender, and tonight we are.
It's mad catchy.
We are going to end on a high note. You guys. I feel like I'm doing spoken word. And it is what it is, because business is everything. You need some bug. Anyway, for those who are tuning in live, hey man, I want to say thanks for coming out. Thanks for supporting everything. We're gonna continue to have fun, and we're about to go to the after hours. Gold style. That's how we do it. That's where I can speak freely, and I don't have to worry about getting demonetized, and I can say what I want to say. Boy, Black Lavender, we out. Be safe, wear your mask, do what you want to do. I'll see y'all in the next video. All right, after hour starts right